your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas!
Ball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We got a very fun Friday show planned for you guys today. We have a lot of guests joining us on the show. We've had a couple of days where we haven't had any guests join us on the show. Today, we are going to head to Manhattan, Kansas to be joined by Tim Fitzgerald, who covers the Kansas State Wildcats. They have a big game coming up in 24 hours against the Kansas Jayhawks. We're going to head to Manhattan. We're also going to go around the National Football League. We're going to go to Seattle. We're going to go to New England. We're going to go to Denver. No one covers the Los Angeles Rams, so we're going to go to those three locations, and we're going to catch up with those cities as they get ready for the Final Four in the NFL. We are going to begin today's show talking about the AFC and NFC championship game, but before we do that, I need to remind you guys of a couple of things. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock. Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I mean, you don't have to tell two friends, but if you could just tell one friend, you don't even have to go outside and tell them this weekend. I know the weather's going to be bad outside. If you could just text one of your close friends, hey, do you listen to The Drive? That's it. Don't say anything else. I would appreciate it. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show every day is brought to you by our friends over at the other place. So before the weather gets too frightful outside, if you're looking for a place to catch a game, you're looking for a place to grab a bite to eat, you're looking for a place to grab a drink, then look no further than our friends over at the other place with 5 locations all across the metro area for you to do just that. All right, Rob, where I would like to begin is let's start to look ahead and let's start to have our preview for the AFC and NFC championship game. Let's start with the first game, and let's start with the game in the AFC between New England and Denver. Now, I know that there was a time in which Buffalo had Super Bowl or bust, and people were picking Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl. The two best teams in the AFC for basically start to finish have been the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. This is a very fitting AFC championship game. But oddly enough, we don't have too many scenarios in which the home team, the one seed in the AFC, has a complete free roll heading into the AFC championship game. Now, this wouldn't have been the case if Bo Nix had been healthy and available for this game, but the fact that Jarrett Stidham is their starting quarterback for this game, there's very little expectation being placed on the Denver Broncos where you feel like they gotta win this game. Now, I'm not telling you that they can't win this game. If this was a Week 8 NFL game and I told you that New England went on the road, and even though Denver had their backup quarterback, they won this game 21-17, I don't think that you're looking at that as one of the big upsets of the National Football League season. I think the Broncos are still very much capable of winning this game. Now, I don't think that the Broncos have the ability to win their next 2 games. I don't think they're winning the AFC championship game and then in a couple of weeks beating the Rams or the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. But if you were telling me in a 1-game, single elimination, home environment, could the Denver Broncos figure it out for 1 week in order to beat the New England Patriots? I absolutely think that is the case. I also think you have to take it one step further, and another reason why I don't think you can be super stunned about it is I think Drake May has played fine so far, but I don't think he's been great. Sure, he threw 3 touchdown passes in the game against Houston. I feel like their success was so much more based off how poorly C.J. Stroud was and how many opportunities were left for the Patriots offense to really take advantage that I think we know enough about Sean Payton. He is not going to put their quarterback, Jarrett Stidham, in chances to really hurt Denver. Now, I don't think he's going to be given a lot of leeway and a lot of leash to go out there and make plays, but I do think that Sean Payton's system is advanced enough where I think Jarrett Stidham can go out there, throw for 180 yards, 1 touchdown, maybe 1 interception, and just keep the damage at a minimum. And you're going to trust that defense to make plays. You're going to trust that defense to be aggressive, win the turnover margin, try to create short down and distances, and try to convert that way. I absolutely think that the Broncos can turn this enough into a rock fight against New England to go out there and win. Now, on the flip side, we're talking about the lack of pressure that exists right now for the Denver Broncos. That is not the case for New England. You got to win this game. New England has been given a gift from the football gods. They played maybe the most banged up team in the postseason in the Los Angeles Chargers in the first week of the season, a team whose quarterback only has one arm, a team that doesn't have a left tackle, doesn't have a right tackle, just a battered and bruised Chargers team. They took care of that team. They went up against a Houston team, and C.J. Stroud, the sure, had an incredible defense, but C.J. Stroud was playing as poorly as any quarterback in this postseason. And I'm sorry, you don't go on the road and beat good football teams, not Pittsburgh. They were not a good football team. You don't go on the road against good football teams and leave with the victory when your quarterback plays as poorly as C.J. Stroud did. That had nothing to do with Drake May. It was everything about C.J. Stroud and how poorly he played and that Patriots defense able to take advantage of it. Now, fast forward, you have been given a gift from the football gods in which Bo Nix is not going to be there, because if Bo Nix was there, the Broncos are the favorite in this game. It started as a 5.5-point line. It is now moved to 4.5 points. The public is believing that Denver can win this game and or could possibly cover in this scenario. The tide is turning in favor of Denver, I would say, over the last 72 hours. So something to keep note of. So the pressure is on New England to go win this game. You got to cash this ticket. I know everybody loves Drake May, and he can maybe win MVP, and we love Mike Vrabel. Man, you don't get too many more better opportunities to win a championship or at least advance to a championship the way that New England has. You absolutely got to take advantage of it if you're New England. You got a one-game scenario against Jarrett Stidham. Their starting quarterback is not playing in this game. Their better running back has been missing for the last couple of months in J.K. Dobbins. I think the Broncos' defense is good, but I don't think it's Seattle's defense. I don't think it's Houston's defense. I don't think it's one of those kind of defenses. Like, you have been given every opportunity this year to advance to the Super Bowl. Don't blow it. Now, let's look to the NFC game, the game that we have between Seattle and Los Angeles. I think these are the two best teams in the league. I think these have been the two best and most talented teams in the National Football League this season. Seattle has been very, very consistent. The funny thing about Seattle is I don't think that they are maybe the best at the league at any one specific thing. They just have been very consistent, and they don't appear to really have a open hole or weakness in that way. They get good quarterback play. Not great, but they get good quarterback play. They run the football effectively. Now, we'll see what that looks like with no Zach Charbonnet. And they've had a really good 1-2 punch with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. But still a very capable run game. Kenneth Walker's there. He ran for 1,000 yards this season. You got maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL. And if he's not the best wide receiver this year, he was the second best wide receiver behind Puka Nacua this season. Got a very good offensive line. You got a very capable defense. That was one of the 3 best defenses in the National Football League. There's a lot of things to like about this Seattle team. They're at home. That's a very, very good football team. You look on the other side when it comes to the Los Angeles Rams, a lot of those same positives that I mentioned with Seattle, they also have. They have the best quarterback in the NFL so far this season, a really good 1-2 punch, a capable offensive line, multiple great weapons in the passing game, a very solid defense that takes the football away. Like, these are two very, very good teams. This might seem very self-explanatory, but follow me here. This game really comes down to Sam Darnold. I don't think this game is necessarily about Matthew Stafford as much as I think it's about Sam Darnold. If Darnold is a positive, I don't think the Rams win that game. If we are having a conversation on Monday that Darnold played really well, I think Seattle wins that game. I think they win it pretty convincingly. Not in a blowout fashion, but just hey, they were the better team. They controlled that fight. They won the game. I think Seattle has a very good chance of winning if Darnold is a neutral. Doesn't play great, but doesn't turn the football and doesn't play poorly. He's just fine. Now, that's a game that Seattle could still lose in that scenario, but if Darnold is a neutral, they're still very much in it. The question in this game is Darnold going to be a negative? He threw a lot of turnovers this year. He made a lot of mistakes this year. He was careless with the football at times. If that is what we are talking about and the Rams are able to be +2 in the turnover differential, then Seattle is going home. So much about that team really comes down to what version do they get of their starting quarterback. Now, you guys know I'm not the biggest Sam Darnold fan in the world, but I don't think this team needs Darnold to go out there and be fantastic. They need Sam Darnold to not make mistakes and not turn the football over. They need Sam Darnold. They don't need him to be a game manager. They need him to be a caretaker. Take care of the offense, run the football effectively, make plays when you need to, and move out of the way and let that defense, let that run game with Kenneth Walker, and let the home crowd take over the game. I think you could say in the 2 games that they have been outplayed by the Los Angeles Rams. They lost the first matchup, and the Rams had a 16-point lead in the second half. Now, Seattle made plays. They had that weird 2-point conversion play they took advantage of. It was an odd win. They won nonetheless. They ended up being the 1 seed, and the advantage is you get this home game. But this is a coin flip kind of game that, to me, is going to be determined by what version of Seattle starting quarterback that you get. Do you get the good version that is normally there early in the regular season? Is he just a neutral? Does he throw for 220 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception, and just takes care of the football? Or are we talking about a Sam Darnold that was 3rd in the NFL at interceptions this year behind Tua, who got benched ultimately and is out in Miami, or also Geno Smith, who also got benched? I mean, he was one of the worst in the NFL when it came to taking care of the football and preserving it. And you can't do that against good football teams like the Rams and think that you are going to advance to the Super Bowl. Those are the 2 best teams in the league. That feels like the de facto Super Bowl in some ways. I do think the winner of that game is going to be favored in San Francisco. And ultimately, I think the winner of the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl and be crowned as the champion coming up in a couple of weeks. Coming up on the other side, we're going to head to Manhattan, Kansas. It is the Sunflower Showdown. We'll get you ready for it. Keep it right here. So drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Sadly, football season is coming to a close, but it's the last call.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you inside the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take a shot on the upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. It's championship weekend. It's January. The weather is cold. I expect low-scoring games, which means keep your eye on the unders. Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug.
Oh, what a horrible call. Hey, ref, open your eyes. Ref, you're really not going to call that? Come on.
Hey, ref, why don't you customize your car insurance with Liberty Mutual and save money?
I don't think you get what we're doing.
Sure I do. We're all just giving him advice. You guys on sports, me on saving money.
Nope, that's not it.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
What's good, y'all? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, Sagmaster, and now your host of Free Range. This is where NFL meets real talk. Every week, I'm bringing you inside the game, from locker room stories to league-wide headlines. You want football IQ, locker room insight, and real conversations with the people shaping the league? Welcome to Free Range with Von Miller, where nothing is off limits and every down counts. New episodes every Wednesday. Listen and follow Free Range with me, Von Miller, wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
It's been a while since we've headed to Manhattan, Kansas, so let's do it. Tim Fitzgerald of Go Power Cat joins us on the show to get you ready for the Sunflower Showdown as the Jayhawks come into town. Tim, how you doing, my man?
Carrington, don't come to Manhattan, Kansas. We're currently in a freezer. They put the entire town inside of a walk-in freezer, and it's really cold.
No, absolutely. It's a lot of cold here. Hopefully you guys don't get too much of the winter weather that they are predicting. Let's start with this. Yeah. I do want to talk about Tang. I do want to talk about basketball, but just how crazy is it that when you were covering Kansas State and you were watching the rise of Colin Klein, who, in my opinion, just from the outside looking in, looks like he's maybe the most popular K-State athlete that we've seen since Darren Sproles. It's got to be crazy now to be covering him as a head coach.
It's strange. And here's what's really odd for me is he was from Snyder 2.0. There are 17 seasons of players that played in 1.0. So I've seen a lot of dudes come through, but he is wildly popular, wildly intelligent, incredibly calm, got a sense of humor. People love him, and they're going to love him as their head coach until the first 5 and 7, and then we'll see what happens.
Right now, we're talking to Tim Fitzgerald, getting the latest about the Kansas State Wildcats. I'm imagining from an excitement standpoint, this is the most excited the K-State fans have been since when, in your mind?
It's a great point, bud. Maybe Jerome Tang's hiring. I mean, honestly, how's that for a segue? That dude hit the ground running. You talk about winning a opening press conference and introductory press conference. He did that. He came out fired up and got it done that first season. So, yeah, maybe it wasn't that long ago, but it is kind of a different feeling. It's less like overjoyed that, hey, this is a gift we're getting to let's get back to business in football.
What have your message boards been saying about Dylan Edwards, the Jayhawk?
Oh, nobody really minds. I mean, the guys think it's funny that, that he's going to stay in state, but everyone was done with him for the most part, and it was time for him to move on.
That's interesting you say that because I'm just thinking about it in a Kansas-Missouri sense, just as a Missouri fan. And if a Missouri running back traveled to Kansas and then was coming back to play in Missouri the following year, the amount of venom and booze that would be directed toward that person, they would rain from the heavens. I'm just thinking about KU has to travel to Manhattan this year. I am very intrigued at what the dynamic is going to be like for him, especially if he plays well in Lawrence.
Oh, no doubt. No, he'll get booed. Don't get me wrong. It's just that's what fans do. But message boards, most of them are like, move on. I think the only surprise for K-State fans in this situation was his unbelievable lack of offers. We kind of thought there'd be people lined up for him based on the physical assets, but there weren't. So I think let's just put it this way: if he plays up to his capabilities, KU got an absolute steal. But Colorado didn't see those capabilities in full, and neither did K-State. They saw little teasing glimpses, but it never quite panned out.
One more football question. I do want to talk basketball. We got the Sunflower Showdown, and you mentioned Jerome Tang. I've got 1,000 questions about him. As a big picture sense about football, where is the confidence in Avery Johnson heading into this year? Because I think he's had a good career, but I don't think he's lived up to the hype that we thought he was going to have coming into K-State, becoming the starter, taking over for Will Howard. But now it does feel like there's a renewed sense of optimism that you get to pair him in his final year. You get to pair him with Colin Klein. Where are K-State fans with their quarterback heading into this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think there's a sense now that Colin Klein leaving was the worst thing to happen to Avery Johnson because that's the guy who knew how to use him. And then they brought in Matt Wells, who's a fine coach. I wouldn't want him as offensive coordinator. Try to warn K-State fans. But he's a good coach, but he's more of a drop-back passing quarterback coach. And we saw him put that on to Avery a little bit, and the running game suffered because he didn't really understand how to use a quarterback run game. So just as Colin leaving was probably the worst thing to happen to Avery's college career, this might be the best thing. And probably the only thing, Carrington, that would have kept him at K-State, because no one would have blamed him for leaving after the shortfalls that he's seen in his career. And honestly, a lot of us would accept the fact that the coaching has muddled up his thought process during the course of a game. And we'll see if Colin can get him back in line. I think Colin will get him back on track, and we'll see better side of Avery Johnson. But also, you look around the country and what some quarterbacks are getting paid that have similar skill sets or kind of comparable. And, yeah, I think K-State is darn happy to have him instead of someone else probably similar or less talented for the same amount of money.
Right now, we're talking to Tim Fitzgerald with Go PowerCat, just getting an update on all things K-State sports. We talked a lot of Kansas over the last couple of days. Certainly time to give K-State their just due on the show. All right, Tim, let's talk about Jerome Tang. I think at least for us, at least on this show, I can only speak for the stance that we've had on this show. I kind of feel like Rob and I are just waiting for them to fire their basketball coach. They missed the tournament the last couple of years. They are going to miss the tournament this year. You just can't miss the tournament in 3 straight years in an NIL era and think that you are keeping your job. But a lot of people have mentioned the buyout. It's $15 million. Yeah. Now, I think in major college athletics, you just put the collection plate around and you come up with the money if you are that kind of program. Where do you think we stand with Jerome Tang? What do you think the next 90 days looks like for him?
Well, you pass around the collection plate to make sure you got enough money to hire Colin Klein. And then you got to do it again on top of the rev share hitting and everything else. I think this will be the only time this happens in basketball in particular, where the buyout exceeds the ability to pay it, unless you want to get out a massive loan. I guess in terms of athletics, $15 million isn't massive, but it's still a loan, which is something K-State shies away from. But there comes a point here where you can't do it again. How much damage are you going to do to the program and your revenue by bringing him back again if this season continues down the path it is and there isn't a remarkable change of fate, which I simply can't see happening due to all the injuries now.
Yeah, I just don't know how, if you're Kansas State, and I mean, this is big-time college athletics. This is a business. I just don't know how you can sell to your fans a year 5 of Jerome Tang and that we are turning things around. And now that we live in a climate in which you are asking the customers to now fund your basketball program and help you with NIL and donate to collectives and do those things, I just don't know how you can ask those people to give more money to help you with the basketball program that feels like it has completely lost direction.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's got a group of donors in the Kansas City area that love him and have supported him financially at a really high degree. K-State has enough NIL money in basketball to play for anything it wants to. I don't know how long that money will be sustained. I think if that money ends, there's no reason to keep going. But when you're one of your biggest donors or donor or donors is in his camp and willing to keep paying the NIL, you're kind of stuck there. But I am with you. If you can fiscally figure out how to make this happen, you've got to move on and find something new because this is just detrimental. But you also can't afford to damage football in any way by maybe diverting some funding. You just can't do it.
Tim, what do you think has gone wrong? Because it got off to such an incredible start. You had Marquise Noel, who had a phenomenal season. His name should be in the rafters at K-State at some point. You had Keontae Johnson, that you got fortunate, but you were able to get him out of the portal. You put those two guys together, and K-State went on a run that didn't just capture the imagination of K-State. I felt like they were the story of college basketball for a stretch there. Yeah. Man, ever since that moment has ended, it has just been very, very inconsistent. I felt like he kind of blamed social media for how things kind of eroded last year. This year, you go get P.J. Haggerty, who has been, honestly, one of the best transfers in the country this year, and they still haven't been able to put it together. How have we gotten to this point with K-State basketball?
Well, first of all, I think he did a great job coaching Marquise Noel because that was a totally different player than what Bruce Weber coached or what played at Arkansas Little Rock. He brought him to life. But also he brought to life someone who was kind of a natural leader bulldog who hadn't been asked to do that by his previous head coach, who kind of was shoved in the corner. And I think Marquise took over the team. Plus, let's recognize the incredible fortune of not only landing Keontae Johnson late in the process when his health situation was cleared up, but also it worked. I mean, he stayed healthy. He is healthy. He's continuing to play. And a lot of coaches were just avoiding that. But, you add in just Naquan Tomlin, and he kind of hit a gold mine in that first transfer class and has had similar success with some players, but it's not been a team. All the pieces fell together in that first year to form a really good basketball team. And I feel like as of late, he's just had pieces. They don't fit together and don't seem to respond to coaching, or he can't get through to them. And the only thing I can come up with is Marquise Noel was the quarterback of that team and took charge.
Right now, we're talking to Tim Fitzgerald with Go Power Cats for a couple more minutes here. Tim, what's the feeling as the Jayhawks are heading in? No one knows if Darren Peterson's going to play. That feels like that's been a saga with them. K-State has won the last 3 games of this matchup in Bramlage, in Manhattan. So you at least got to give them some chance tomorrow. What's the feeling around K-State basketball heading into this matchup against KU?
I think most people expect KU to win. I mean, even the Utah game, Utah wasn't very good. K-State barely won. They were down 2 more players. They came into the season with like 5 interior guys, and they're down to 2. So the injury bug has really hit them hard. And we don't know who all is going to play for K-State, but we know Abdi Bashir, the best outside shooter, is gone for a month. So one of your good offensive weapons is now off the board, but he was also one of your worst defensive players. So maybe there'll be some give and take there that K-State can learn to play a little better team defense, because scoring is not the problem with this team. They can score. They simply can't defend, and they're not big enough to rebound in the Big 12.
That is our guy, Tim Fitzgerald, joining us on the show today. He is with Go Power Cat. You know what, Tim? I'm cheering for the Power Cats this weekend. Please go get a win against KU.
Well, this rivalry, you can't ever tell. And I won't be surprised if it happens. And really, the only time I've ever been surprised in outcome of a game was the last time K-State won in Lawrence. That one was totally off brand and off the books, and this one, particularly Peterson plays, would be the same level of oddness.
That is Tim Fitzgerald joining us on the show today with Go Power Cats for the latest about the Kansas State football and basketball program. We always got to show Emaw a little bit of love. Always appreciate Tim Fitzgerald popping on the show. Someone sent this in. C-Dot, did he just say that K-State has the NIL money in basketball to pay for anything that they want? I believe that. I think they've shown that over the last couple of years. You don't go get P.J. Haggerty for cheap. Like P.J. Haggerty, who was one of the 5 best transfers in the portal, you don't just randomly show up in Manhattan, Kansas, unless the bag was delivered. It was reported that they spent $2 million on Coleman Hawkins. I think K-State has shown you that they're willing to spend money. Like, the students still get a choice in all of this. This is the argument that I make about NIL. Like, we make it seem like everybody only chooses their job based off salary. No, it's like a regular job. Like, I don't think that Kansas was the only team that was willing to pay for Darren Peterson. I just understand why you want to go play basketball at Kansas. Look at them. Yeah, so I get why, hey, I want to go play. If I'm only going to play 1 year of college basketball, I'm going to Kansas. I'm going to Duke. I'm going to one of those universities. But if you're not going to one of those and you're chasing the bag, and I'm not mad at you if you're chasing the bag, people choose salary as the number one thing in their profession all the time. Yeah, K-State has shown you on the high end that they're willing to pay money. And that's why, at least when we're having the conversation now as it shifts towards their head coach, you can't tell me that the money is there in NIL. You've missed the tournament for 3 consecutive years, and now you can't come up with the money to now get rid of your head coach. You cannot continue to move forward with Jerome Tang and then think the rest of us are going to take you seriously. If Jerome Tang is back next year, you're telling me what it is at K-State. You're telling me what it is. You guys aren't serious next year. We don't got to talk about you guys next year. You're not trying to win basketball games next year. If you are trying to run a serious basketball program, you have given Jerome Tang a lot of time. You will have given him 4 years. In year 1, his best player was already there. You did not recruit Marquise Noel. Now, you get credit for elevating him and giving him the freedom to turn into the player that he did, but you did not do the work to go get Marquise Noel. And then once he left, you have missed the tournament for the last couple of years, and you are arguably one of the 4 worst teams in the Big 12 this year. I'm sorry, you don't continue to have your job after all that happens.
I also think, to your NIL point, if I was a K-State fan, and I am not a K-State fan, but if I was one, I think that's one of the reasons why the Tang era has been so infuriating. It is not a problem at K-State of spending. It just isn't. I know it's weird to say because K-State is not a historically great basketball program. They're kind of historically... They're not in the doldrums, but they're historically just mid. They're like the 8th or 9th best job in the Big 12. But Jerome Tang's problems are not he couldn't win a bidding war for a player in the portal, that he lost out on a recruit because they wanted more money. That has never been the problem since Jerome Tang showed up in Manhattan. He actually has done an exceptional job of getting money together. You heard Tim Fitzgerald say he's got a big group of donors in Kansas City that really back him. Coleman Hawkins wasn't cheap. P.J. Haggerty wasn't cheap. Like, he has added expensive talent to the roster, and yet the results have been absolutely nothing to show for it. Keontae Johnson and Marquise Noel worked great together, but the spending went up from there, and the results have gone way down from there.
Text line 913-586-7965. You guys are always welcome to chime in. I want to play this audio for you guys. Did you guys know that Netflix has started making a pivot and they are investing more in video podcasts? So a lot of the podcasts that you used to watch on YouTube, they are now exclusively moving over to YouTube. They are also starting up new podcasts. There is a podcast right now with Michael Irvin, Michael Beasley, and Brandon Marshall. I don't know what they're talking about, but that is a podcast that I am interested in being a part of. Michael Irvin, Michael Beasley, and Brandon Marshall. There's no chance that this podcast lasts through the summer. Zero chance. There's absolutely no chance that this podcast makes it through the summer. So we got to enjoy it. We got to hold on to it while we still have it. Well, you know what? Michael Irvin's tired of the allegations. You know what allegations I'm talking about. Mike is eccentric. Mike is a very flamboyant Miami fan. He shows a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm. He's really the heart and soul of that team, and he's not even on the team. But he's tired of your allegations, and he went on Netflix to address it earlier today.
Wait. First of all, y'all know damn well Coke don't last 5 hours. Y'all know damn well Coke don't last 5 hours. And I hadn't partaken in 20 years. But if you got some 5-hour stuff, let me know. That's just what I'm saying, man. Like, stop it.
Michael Irvin might be one of my favorite people. I really like Michael Irvin. I really do. He's just a funny guy. He's fun to me on the sideline. I like that Mike has turned his life around. You remember he got falsely accused right before the Super Bowl. He lost his job at NFL Network. He maintained his innocence. We ended up getting the video. Michael Irvin told us exactly what happened. Mike's been cool for the last couple of years. Mike's been really cool. Mike might be the original Unk. I know that Shannon Sharp is kind of molded into that role, but really Michael Irvin might be the OG Unk. I like him, man. There's no 5-hour stuff. I wouldn't know. That's not ever been part of my life. I don't have any plan on making it part of my life. But I know this. I'm happy for Michael Irvin. I want more Michael Irvin in our life. I want them to get the most random guest ever. Can Gronk go on that podcast? Can Marshawn Lynch go on that podcast? Like, I want this podcast to be successful. I don't know how it can be with those three personalities, but I really want it to be successful.
Listen, I enjoyed the Michael Irvin sideline shenanigans over the course of the Miami playoff run.
It was hilarious.
But I would also say, Michael, we saw the Netflix doc. We know what the White House is. We learned about Dallas. People who didn't know learned pretty in-depth about the Cowboys era in the 90s. So it's not shocking that documentary comes out in the summer. Then in December, you're on all fours on the sideline at College Station barking and sweating. People are going to try to connect some dots. Like, I'm happy he's not doing that, but don't act like the allegations came out of nowhere when in July you're on a documentary being like, me, Leon Lett, Nate Newton, we're heading the White House.
No, they
We
weren't.
know what that means. We get it. we get it.
Michael Irvin was telling some incredible stories. He was telling some amazing stories on there. Who would you say is white Michael Irvin? Do you guys have a Michael Irvin?
I don't know. We do.
I'm really curious on who you think that individual would be. Because I don't know if that person has emerged.
Jim McMahon? It was for an older era, but...
Yeah, but I mean, like, now that's pretty prominent. Like, Michael Irvin is still very relevant in a lot of ways. Like, I wonder if that person exists.
To be fair, how much of him being relevant is the fact it was the 90s. Like, Jim McMahon was popular in the 90s and disappeared. Like, it could be Jim McMahon. It's not Brian Bosworth, although that was a name that was a big deal at the time.
You know who I see on podcasts a lot in this space? Remember Jason Williams that played for the Sacramento Kings? I see him a lot. And I mean, everybody loves Jason Williams. He was an incredible player in the early 2000s. Is he white Michael Irvin?
Was he talented enough to be white Michael Irvin?
I mean, no.
Like, Michael Irvin's a Hall of Famer.
Michael Irvin, funny enough, Michael Irvin, for as good of a player he was, he might honestly now be underrated and underappreciated. Like, when we talk about big physical possession receiver, the guy you are really describing is Michael Irvin. A guy that did it in one of the more difficult eras to do it, where the rules were, hey, you were scared to go over the middle. If you're talking about that big 6'2", 6'3", 220 physical, that guy's Michael Irvin of the 90s. I honestly think in a weird way, like Michael Irvin, for as great as he was, he might honestly have now turned into a little bit underrated and underappreciated for the kind of player that he was on the field. Coming up on the other side, we will start our trip around the National Football League. We're going to head to Boston, Massachusetts. The Patriots, they are the favorite in the AFC Championship game. We'll get to it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers! It's what you are!
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you feel embarrassed, trapped, maybe even ashamed just because you own a timeshare?
Well, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. Chuck McDowell here, the timeshare cancellation guy. I get over 3,000 complaints a week from all kinds of folks that feel the same way you do. Honest people, teachers, veterans, grandparents, all losing sleep over a timeshare they can't get rid of. That's why 15 years ago, I founded Wesley Financial Group to help people take their lives back. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we would want our own family to be treated. That mindset has helped us cancel over 50,000 timeshares from people just like you. So if you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377.
What's good, y'all? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, Sack Master, and now your host of Free Range. This is where NFL meets real talk. Every week, I'm bringing you inside the game, from locker room stories to league-wide headlines. You want football IQ, locker room insight, and real conversations with the people shaping the league? Welcome to Free Range with Von Miller, where nothing is off limits and every down counts. New episodes every Wednesday. Listen and follow Free Range with me, Von Miller, wherever you get your podcast.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching fever under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Expect a high of 11 this afternoon with mostly cloudy skies.
Weather brought to you by Staples. 2026 is here, and at Staples, deals mean business. Like up to $100 off custom print orders. Head into the new year looking good for less. Staples. That was easy. Ends 1/31.
Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fesco and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com. Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, Rob, the text line has come through beautifully. Before we're joined by Adam Kaufman of Nesson, I need to run these 3 names by you. We were just talking about who is white Michael Irvin. These 3 names have been thrown out there, and I think they're great. John Daly, Johnny Manziel, and Ric Flair. I really like the Ric Flair one. I think Ric Flair is white Michael Irvin. I never thought about it in that way. Because you got to have a measure of success. You got to be well-known. You got to be flamboyant. You still got to be very relevant. You got to be Unk status. I mean, he's past Unk status. He's Gramps. I think Ric Flair is white Michael Irvin. I don't know why I never thought of that until just now.
He also someone that was famous in the 80s and 90s. And
for sure.
It's a great analogy.
White Michael Irvin. Johnny Manziel, you got something to aspire to. I'm shocked Rick's made it as long as he's made it. Like, I'm really stunned. How old do you think Ric Flair is? Off the top of your head, how old do you think Ric Flair
81.
is? Ric Flair is 76 years old.
He's lived fast.
No, there's no way you could have told me that you would have guessed that Ric Flair would live to 76 years old. No way. I mean, just what a life. What an absolute life by Ric Flair. I'm also reading this. I had no clue, and I know we got Adam on hold. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Ric Flair was married in 2009. He got divorced in 2014, but on Wikipedia, they also have him down for a partner who he started dating while he was married to his fourth wife. This is absolutely white Michael Irvin. I had no clue. I learned so much about Ric Flair in the last 30 seconds that I didn't know before. Shout out to Charlotte. I don't know much about wrestling, but I do know Charlotte Flair. Let me tell you, she's got a bright future. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Adam Kaufman. He is with Nesson. Adam, I'm sorry we didn't get to you sooner, but we had important business to get to.
I was enjoying the show, man. You don't need to apologize for anything. I think Ric Flair is a perfect one. And to your point, because I'm listening to you list the three names and who is it, and I'm having this debate within myself while I'm listening to you. And the first point that you made about relevance, measure of success, all of that, like that's solely, I mean, it's still true. Like, even around here, Boston, I'll tell you, whenever the Bruins, at their games at the TD Garden, whenever the Bruins score a goal, the Ric Flair woo comes over the PA system. So he's still relevant now in 2026 in Boston, Massachusetts, man. So, yeah, Ric Flair, I mean, like my kids, I've got a teenage kid who probably has never even heard of Johnny Manziel. He's immediately off the list. Manziel doesn't fit here.
Right now, we're talking to Adam Kaufman of Nesson. He is confirming that we think that Ric Flair is white Michael Irvin. We are here. All right, Adam, so much to talk to you about. Really happy that you are here. I think there's only one team now with pressure this weekend. Now, sure, Seattle, they're the home team. You want to win, but it's a coin flip kind of game. They've won one game. The Rams have won one game. The Rams winning 3 straight games on the road in the postseason. Really difficult thing to do. No one's going to call their season a failure if they don't go to the Super Bowl. Man, the fact that the Broncos don't have their starting quarterback, the Patriots are relatively healthy as you can be at this stage of the season. Man, there does feel like there is a pressure, an immense pressure on New England. You got to cash this ticket. You got to go to the Super Bowl. Am I fair in that? Do you feel that heading in to the AFC Championship game?
So it is fair, but it's also funny because remember, the Patriots, we've talked extensively about it. This team won 4 games last year. Expectations for this team weren't even the playoffs, let alone sitting a win away from being in the Super Bowl. But then home favorites against the Chargers. Okay, you should win that. Home favorite against the Texans. Okay, you should win that. And then you go to Denver, the number 1 seed, and if it's Bo Nix and not Jarrett Stidham, you're still, I hate the expression, but playing with house money. People aren't looking at the Patriots at that point and attaching any sort of pressure to them. They're saying, you've already validated your season. It's already a wild, immeasurable success. This is a great building block for the future. But the second, and I realize this happened technically before the Patriots even won their game to advance, but the second Bo Nix breaks that ankle and is ruled out for the remainder of the postseason, and you've got Jarrett Stidham, the former Patriot, on the other side, who hasn't thrown an NFL pass in a game that actually counts, because I'm taking out preseason, since 2023. It's been a couple of years. Then all of a sudden, yeah, all the pressure is on New England to win and advance to the Super Bowl despite all of that house money stuff, because the Broncos suddenly are the team that's just like, well, I mean, it makes sense that we're here, but now nobody expects us to do anything. And, I mean, the Patriots are the biggest road favorite in a conference title game, guys, since the merger in 1970, almost 60 years. That's an insane statistic. All the pressure's on New England right now, but I do think they're equipped to handle it.
So you cover sports from a gambling perspective. Are you surprised to see the line moving in the Broncos' favor? It opened up at 5.5. It's now down to 4.5 right now. Do you think that's indicative of people think that they're going to pull the upset? Do you think that's people finding the value in the Broncos heading into this? Why do you think the line has moved?
So I do think it makes sense. It's also a little – most of that is true, but there was a 4.5 at open. It steamed very quickly to 5.5, even 6 in some places, because all that money was coming in on the Patriots saying, how in the hell are they going to lose this game? And then, as you noted, the Broncos money, comes back pushing it the other way. And I think that makes sense because, it's a little bit of an overreaction. Like on the road, 4.5, 5.5, 6, like that's still a big number against a Broncos team that, while I think that defense is a little fraudulent, pretty overrated as far as I'm concerned, at least the second half of the year and into the playoffs, it's still a team that technically does rank in the top 5 overall. And, you still have some talent there. You've got some level of talent, some measure of talent on the offense. Everybody, like we've had former Patriots players and the like on throughout our week here on Nesson on the show talking about what it's like to play in the altitude and how much the elevation matters and all of these things. Like Denver is still held a house of horrors for New England, 0-4 in the playoffs all time, 0-3 with Brady and Belichick. So May and Vrabel are trying to do something that, even the GOATs never did. It's not an easy place to play, but, I think it was a little bit of an overreaction in the standpoint of if the Broncos, if Knicks were healthy, this would have opened at pick 'em, maybe even the Patriots as a 1.5 point dog. I mean, do we really think going from Bo Nix, who I'm personally not that high on, do we really think going from Bo Nix down to Jarrett Stidham is a touchdown swing in terms of the spread? Like, that's a gigantic number. So I do think the movement back the other way makes some sense. And I hope people, locked in the Broncos when you had the full 6 available because it should be a closer game.
Right now, we're talking to Adam Kaufman with Nesson, getting you ready for the AFC Championship game. He covers the New England Patriots. Adam, what do you make of the criticism from the outside? I'm thinking of Cam Newton. He called the schedule for the Patriots Mickey Mouse and said that they potentially have the easiest run that we have ever seen to a Super Bowl. Do you think that's a fair criticism, or is it sort of is what it is? You don't apologize, you win the games, you beat the teams that are in front of you, and you end up going to San Francisco?
I don't know what Cam's effing problem is. I really like it's comical, all right? Like for whatever reason, this has been going on all year. Don't forget, all the headlines that he made picking on Drake May mid-season or whatever it was when he was talking system quarterback versus game changer, game manager, all of that stuff. His the Cam Newton shtick that was going around at that point. This is the organization. I realize it's a different regime here. It was Belichick technically, but this is the organization that pulled him off the scrap heap and gave him a chance and put him back in the NFL and even made him a starter after Brady went off to Tampa and, kept him around, kept him relevant, built him up a little bit with Josh McDaniels and, earned him that second life at the very end of the career with Carolina. And then Drake May, like how many people in today's NFL grew up worshiping Cam Newton? I know he was, great for a stretch there and a former MVP and all of that in the NFL. But, I mean, how many people truly, grew up idolizing Cam Newton, who's today in the league? I'm going to say it's a very short list. It might be one, the North Carolina product, Drake May, who, for whatever reason, Cam's got this vendetta against. So I just think his criticism doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I think it's just for takes and loud noises and viral videos and all of that stuff. But, I think to your larger point, it's a lot of criticisms of the schedule. And it's also a lot of people changing their tunes, man. I mean, a lot of people, Patriots fans, even before that game against the Texans was played, were mocking how all the ESPN insiders, you've seen the graphic go around on social media, they all picked Houston to win that game, every single one of them, because of the defense and because of maybe Drake's not up to the task and Hunter and Anderson, these guys are going to make his life a nightmare. And the Patriots come out of that win, not that May was excellent, but the Patriots, they win that game rather handedly and advance, and all of a sudden it's, the Texans aren't any good. Well, they didn't have Nico Collins. Like, who's C.J. Stroud going to throw to? It's just excuse after excuse after excuse. First the Chargers, then the Texans. It'll be less so this time around without the quarterback, Bo Nix. But, if the Patriots win this game, it's still going to be, as you said, the Mickey Mouse schedule to where, fine, they're in the Super Bowl. Well, it's about time they finally play a real opponent. But, a friend of mine texted me the other day and said, you know what's going to happen here, right? Like, it's all going to be, well and good for the Patriots until Sam Darnold trips on the tarmac coming off the plane, and there's another excuse built in there for why they're going to beat the Seahawks. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think at a certain point, any sport, any team, any level, all you can do is play the games in front of you. And, the Broncos had a relatively easy schedule themselves. Not as easy, but relatively easy. And they survived teams week to week. Go look at that schedule. I won't run down the results, but they just barely got by most of those wins against inferior competition, whereas the Patriots were slaughtering, absolutely curb-stomping teams on a weekly basis.
That is our guy, Adam Kaufman of Nesson, joining us on the show today. The Patriots get ready for the AFC Championship game against the Denver Broncos. Adam, always great catching up with you, my man.
Hopefully we'll get to do it again.
Absolutely. That is Adam Kaufman joining us on the show today as the Patriots get ready for the AFC Championship game. You know what? I noticed something earlier today that I underestimated when it comes to Eric Bieniemy. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5. The Fan.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you feel embarrassed, trapped, maybe even ashamed just because you own a timeshare? Well, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. Chuck McDowell here, the timeshare cancellation guy. I get over 3,000 complaints a week from all kinds of folks that feel the same way you do. Honest people, teachers, veterans, grandparents, all losing sleep over a timeshare they can't get rid of. That's why 15 years ago, I founded Wesley Financial Group to help people take their lives back. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we would want our own family to be treated. That mindset has helped us cancel over 50,000 timeshares from people just like you. So if you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377.
This Wednesday, January 28th, our friends at Centric are hosting a KC Tech Career Summit at Centric. It's open networking with KC area tech professionals, facility tours, breakout conversations with instructors, career services, and a live panel featuring former Centric students and local employers, plus a Q&A.
Whether you're just starting out, considering a career change, or simply interested in what the tech field offers, this summit offers you a gateway to that. Please RSVP in advance by going to Centric.com and clicking the KC Tech Summit at the top of the page.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus comes out swinging. Highlight machine Justin Gaethje collides with Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in a must-see high-octane main event. Plus, Sean Sugar O'Malley faces off against Song Yadong in a stand-up war filled with high-level striking. Pay-per-view just got knocked out. Stream UFC 324 live on January 24th, only on Paramount Plus. Visit ParamountPlus.com/UFC to get started.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
The Chiefs offseason show with Bob, Dusty, Cody, Alex, and CDOT is Tuesday, February 10th, starting at 9 a.m. right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC, FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
I had a eye-opening experience earlier today. So the Chiefs sent out a tweet welcoming back Eric Bieniemy. And as you would imagine, most of the mentions were pretty positive. So then I put out something that said, man, I would love to see the original tweet when EB was moving on just to see how people felt. Now, I will admit, I went into this expecting the sentiment to be negative towards Eric Bieniemy. But I learned something. I was wrong in my hypothesis. The sentiment was very, very positive. And from social media, that's really, really surprising. The sentiment was largely, we appreciate your contribution to the team. We understand why you have to move on. Good luck. And as I sat there and I read these messages and I was scrolling through it, I think I have underestimated this part about Eric Bieniemy in my commentary about EB. Now, I don't want anyone to get this part mistaken. I still feel the way that I do about the overall hire of it. But I think maybe in the response to it and the pushback, I think I underestimated this part of it. I don't think it was a bad breakup in any way. And I guess in the way that I remember it in real time, I just thought it was a lot more messy than how I remembered it. I thought it was a lot more, we're glad to see you go. We're happy to move on in a different direction. Now, some of that might stem from the fact that he left directly after you won another Super Bowl, so you're overly positive about anything. But I don't want that to kind of take away from what I think the sentiment was. I think in this exercise, Rob, what I went into it thinking and what I actually saw and read for myself, it really changed my opinion, and it is now explained the last week of EB coming back because you mainly have positive moments and memories from the experience. Aside from the second half against Cincinnati, which I don't think anyone attributes that to Eric Bieniemy, there really aren't many negative moments or memories. Now, this part I do remember about it. I think EB desperately wanted to be a head coach, tried really hard to be a head coach, and it just didn't work out. And EB one day woke up and said, if I want to accomplish this goal of mine, I don't think I can do it by being the Chiefs offensive coordinator anymore. Now, I think this is where me and you, Carrington, and the text line go our different paths. You get knocked, in my opinion, for getting fired from the Washington job. You get knocked for signing a 2-year deal to be the offensive coordinator for UCLA and getting fired in the middle of the contract. Like, those things are negative. You guys don't see those as negatives, and I get it. You guys see it mostly as my experiences with this person are positive. I only share good memories. He is a part of our family. He is a part of the kingdom. We are really happy for him to come back. I didn't have that perspective before earlier today. So again, I don't feel any different. This is not me championing the hire, and I still wanted them to go in a different direction. But I think more than anything, it put into perspective why the response and reaction has been the way that it's been. You guys love the first movie. They are announcing a sequel to the first movie, and you are fired up about the sequel because the first one is one of your favorite movies. I understand that philosophy. I get why people feel the way that they feel.
I also think, now, you did have the advantage of looking at the tweet, and we were looking at it together in the office. In 2023, it was after the Super Bowl, fans were very, hey, go be great, we'll miss you, da-da-da. I also think time heals all wounds. I think you'll understand this analogy, but I'll make it here. Rich Rodriguez left West Virginia for Michigan. Do you know what Rich Rodriguez was in Michigan? Terrible. Like, just awful as a head coach. He has now returned and is yet again the head coach of West Virginia football. And do you know what the overwhelming sentiment was from West Virginia fans? Which, if you don't know, that's fine. It was, oh man, we're so excited Rich Rod is back. We got our guy again. Let the good times roll. I think that is a glimpse into how Chiefs fans feel. It was all good under Eric Bieniemy. It was 2018 to 2022 as the offensive coordinator. Those were what? 4 of the best years in the history of the Kansas City Chiefs? Like, they played in 3 Super Bowls, won 2 of them. Like, that's a really, really good run of Chiefs football. So even though he left and he failed in Washington and failed with UCLA and was a position coach last year, when fans have him return, it is not, what have you done for me lately? There is a lot of, hey, time has healed the wounds. We don't care what you've done. You're back. Let the good times roll. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and I think that's some of what Chiefs fans are feeling if they're rejoicing that Eric Bieniemy is back in town.
I also think this part of it, and I think this is what's clouded it, and I can admit, like, this part I was wrong on. Rob, I remember whenever we were arguing and debating on why Eric Bieniemy should be a head coach, I would say a lot of the negatives that I have pointed out on why I'm not thrilled about it are a lot of the same talking points people are now using on why he's such a good offensive coordinator. You remember when it was, hey, I mean, every offensive coordinator for the Chiefs has kind of gotten this opportunity. Why is EB not getting it? Oh, well, he doesn't call plays. Oh, well, he's tough to get along with. All of these things. Now it feels like that is now being championed by everybody. I also think on the other side, if you were a team that didn't hire Eric Bieniemy, the further he got away from Kansas City, it almost confirmed exactly why you didn't hire Eric Bieniemy. It is not like after leaving Kansas City, his career has taken off like a rocket and he has proved everybody wrong. If anything, I would say that Eric Bieniemy over the last couple of years has only proved people right in why you didn't turn over your organization to him. When you gave him the opportunity in Washington, it failed. When you gave him the opportunity at UCLA, it failed. And now he's going back to being what I think the league truly sees him as a really good running back coach who is tough on players, but not a guy that you would give a certain measure of control to, which I thought was going to be viewed as a negative by Chiefs fans. In a roundabout way, all of those things have now been viewed as a positive. Like all of the reasons that people have said no to Eric Bieniemy, the sentiment in Kansas City is, well, that's exactly why you work here in our situation. So I would say this is the part that I misevaluated. I can stand here and tell you I got this part wrong. I didn't think you guys saw Eric Bieniemy as much as family as I noticed over the last couple of days and as I went back and read those things. And I would say the flaws that EB seems to have, you guys seem to embrace those things and think that is exactly what the Chiefs need to get back to where they were. And you don't see them as the negatives that I think the rest of the league is when he was desperate to try to go be a head coach. He wanted that more than he interviewed for 11 jobs while he was interviewed for 11 jobs. He desperately wanted to be a head coach in the league. And every single one of those opportunities told him no.
Let me ask you this. Is part of the reason Chiefs fans are championing those things you dislike because the guy that has called plays at an NFL level, has been, quarterback guru, has all those things they just had and the offense stagnated? Like, is it possible one of the reasons that all the things you are knocking Eric Bieniemy for, that fans are saying, no, those are positives, is because the thing you were looking for in an offensive coordinator, albeit not this person in particular, Matt Nagy was supposed to be doing those things, and they were all, I don't say bad, subpar the last 3 years. Matt Nagy called plays in the NFL. He did it in Chicago as head coach. He then was the guy who helped build the offense in Kansas City. He then was a subpar offensive coordinator. He was the guy who was supposed to be scheme guy. He did that at head coaching level in Chicago. Then he came back to Kansas City. The scheme was subpar. Like, I think some of the things that you were looking for in OC, fans were like, no thanks, because they felt like they had that guy, and that guy just failed in Matt Nagy.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's part of just, it's interesting. Like, going back and reading the tweets about Eric Bieniemy, I thought were very, very intriguing. Like, the sentiment towards EB is very, very positive. They're very, very positive towards EB. I think the sentiment towards Eric Bieniemy coming back have been very, very positive sentiments. We like this guy. We appreciate this guy. He is the yin to Andy Reid's yang. That Andy has a certain personality, that there are weaknesses in that personality. EB is now going to step up, and he is going to be able to fill in the gaps in those two things. Let's see if it works. Like, the Chiefs have taken a chance with all of this. Like, they have taken an absolute chance in we trust our system, we trust our scheme, we know what works, and we also believe that it worked and this person was a major reason of why it worked. Let's bring that guy back. Let's allow him to be who he is. Let's allow him to have the freedom to coach in the way that he needs to coach. We think this is the best place for him, and we also think that we are the best with him, and we'll find out this season if that ends up being the case. We'll get back to the AFC and NFC championship games next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you feel embarrassed, trapped, maybe even ashamed just because you own a timeshare? Well, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. Chuck McDowell here, the timeshare cancellation guy. I get over 3,000 complaints a week from all kinds of folks that feel the same way you do. Honest people, teachers, veterans, grandparents, all losing sleep over a timeshare they can't get rid of. That's why 15 years ago, I founded Wesley Financial Group to help people take their lives back. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we would want our own family to be treated. That mindset has helped us cancel over 50,000 timeshares from people just like you. So if you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377.
Ready for action, hockey fans? Dusty Likens here. BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is giving players another reason to lace up and hit the ice this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to the goals, the checks, the faceoffs, and those breakaways with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify your winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like dark mode as well. We have lots in store between now and when the new champions are crowned. So log into BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, all throughout the hockey season to see what's new. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This hour is brought to you by State Water Heater and Reeves Weideman online at rwco.com. Need a water heater? State Water Heaters has the solution. The Adapt Gas Tankless Water Heater with X3 scale prevention delivers efficient, on-demand hot water with no annual maintenance and may qualify for money-saving utility rebates. Ask your plumber for State at Reeves Weideman. Visit rwco.com or statewaterheaters.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
This one brought to you by D&M Injury Law. Hey, Mike's got this. 435 northbound just before Stadium. The right lane is blocked. Shawnee, that's a stall. Right lane blocked. 35 southbound just past Johnson. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Josh Dover. He is with Denver Sports, 104.3 FM out in Denver, Colorado. They got a really important game this weekend. They are in the AFC Championship game. They're hosting the AFC Championship game. I mean, Josh, this is something Kansas City has done 6 of the last 8 years. So, I'm happy that you guys finally get a chance to host the AFC Championship game. Sometimes the league needs people to share a little bit so Kansas City can share this experience with you.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you're happy for me because I appreciate that and how we're feeling out here. Nice. You get the first jab in this round, C-Dot. But, no, man, it's a buzz in the city, and, yeah, you guys are certainly familiar with it. 10 years in the making, 10 years of waiting, 10 years of, hey, well, is this ever going to happen again for this city and this organization? And, it comes with a caveat because it's Jarrett Stidham instead of Bo Nix, the guy that the city's really gotten behind. But, man, they're fired up. It was 10 years ago when they had a quarterback. Now, he had a much better reputation in Peyton Manning that wasn't playing his best football and got carried by a defense, and that's what a lot of Broncos fans are hoping for again.
So let's start with that because I don't know if you can have as great of a game that we had in the divisional round and both teams come out sad. Buffalo is mad about the catch, and we'll get your perspective on that, or interception. You then fired their head coach immediately afterwards, but then you get the news almost immediately after the best Bronco win since they won the Super Bowl that Bo Nix is done for the rest of the season. Take us through that 24 hours of obvious jubilation. You won an overtime game in the playoffs, and now you got the news that you're not going to have your starting quarterback the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gut punch, and we got about 48 minutes to really celebrate it, right? It's like in a dream, and you've got your dream girl, and then you wake up next to that girl you've known since high school, and you're like, oh, God, this is the reality of what life actually is? But, you have a week to talk yourself into it and what it's going to be with a guy like Jarrett Stidham. It's unfortunate for Bo, and a lot of folks say, hey, you can't count your chickens. I get all that, but he's a second-year quarterback with a coach that still has a little bit of time left, so you'll hope that's all you can really do, that this isn't the last time that he's going to have that opportunity. And then what sets in, like I said, is that reality of man, the Broncos are about to host the AFC Championship, and it's going to be Jarrett Stidham. Now, did my best to be optimistic on the radio this week, but, man, there's a lot of questions about who Stidham is going to be as a quarterback. Can he keep his head above water? Can he not just screw up too many times? Those are all giant questions that nobody really knows until we get there Sunday.
Right now, we're talking to Joshua Dover with Denver Sports 104.3, getting his thoughts on the AFC Championship game. So let's talk about the catch/interception. It's funny because, at least my eye, when I'm watching it, I thought it was a catch. I think Brandon Cooks has possession of the ball. I think he goes down to the ground with his knee. I think he has it as he is rolling onto the ground, and then obviously the ball gets taken away from him. But I've kind of changed my opinion over the last couple of days as I've seen on social media. People have found very comparable plays, and then that play gets called an interception. I do look at the rule being a little bit confusing, and now we have survived to the ground, and maybe we all have different meanings of what that is. But I have come around over the last 48 hours or so in thinking that that was an interception thrown by Josh Allen.
And look, I always thought it was. And you're right that it is kind of personal perception of what completing a catch through contact of the ground actually means. And I don't think every referee has the same definition, or else we would all know what this actually means. And did Brandon Cooks catch the ball originally? Absolutely. Did he ever really have full control? I think is where the debate lies. And then when he gets to the ground, if he never had full control before that knee hits the ground, then isn't it anybody's ball at that point? It's up for grabs because the ball still hasn't touched the ground or a whistle had not blown the play dead. So if the ball is moving in any aspect and there's not the couple of steps taken or a football move made, I still think that thing is completely up for grabs no matter what part of the body somebody that has the ball in their hand or hands does or does not do. So I thought it was an interception from the jump. The wide receiver didn't even get up and complain too much about it in real time because I thought he knew. And then how about the fact that Bills fans, dude, it was like an IQ test this week on social media. They're trying to use still photos to show a play and back their evidence. I want to go back. Scott Norwood thought it was good, too, if you took a still photo from the snap, Bills fans. Get a brain.
I am curious on your, I guess, reaction to the reaction. I mean, Buffalo, it feels like they have been unraveling since then. Their owner yelled bad call during a press conference. Brandon Cooks was on Good Morning Football this week, also continuing to say, I caught the ball, even though I'm with you. Nothing he did in real time would suggest that he felt like he caught the ball. He had the body language of a player who felt like he had made a mistake and felt like he had given up a turnover. What do you make of seeing the losing side and how they've handled themselves? Because if you want to talk about one thing that you and I both know very well, it is watching Buffalo complain about something that happened in the postseason.
Yeah, man. It's honestly been fun from the outside perspective and then being the losers of it all because it has completely unraveled. I mean, first you fire the coach. I thought McDermott was coaching for his job anyway. It was, you guys are out of the way. There's no real, Lamar's not there. Joe's not there. This was supposed to be the Bills' playoffs to run for. So I thought McDermott was Super Bowl, like win the Super Bowl or bust basically for Sean McDermott. So I don't feel bad for him in any way. It's been almost a decade and you haven't been able to get over the hump. You shouldn't get that long of an opportunity at anything that you're doing in life. And then just to see the owner clearly siding with general manager and throwing the coaching staff under the bus while actively trying to find a new coaching staff to come and coach those guys. Like, I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And then you want to get a little cherry on top for us that enjoy this. They're now interviewing Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers couldn't win a big game in his entire NFL life. Now he's going to go coach the next guy that can't win a big game. I hope they hire Phillip Rivers.
Right now, we're talking to Josh Dover of Denver Sports 104.3, getting his thoughts on the AFC Championship game. So let's head to Sunday. Let's head to the matchup. What's the pressure like? Because, I mean, if Bo Nix was playing, Denver would be a 1.5 point favorite. Now they're a 4.5 point underdog, and they started the week as a 6 point underdog, but the line is moving in their favor. It kind of feels like a free roll for Denver. Like, it feels like they can really go out there with house money. Nobody believes in us, so let's just go play free. And that's usually not the kind of mindset that you have going into an AFC Championship game, being 60 minutes away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I could see a little bit of that, and I've heard some of that from the fan base from Broncos country here, but I still think there's a tremendous amount of pressure on Sean Payton. Jarrett Stidham's going to get a pass. He's a backup quarterback. I mean, the only thing Jarrett could do is succeed and literally change his football future and his football life for the foreseeable future. But I don't think Sean's free and clear, and I talked about that a lot here. We're going to, on my show out here, we're going to figure out, like, if Sean wants to dummy this down, rely upon his running game, if they get J.K. Dobbins back, which doesn't look like that's going to happen, you can really get back to being a run-first football team. What absolutely should terrify Broncos fans is that Sean Payton has an opportunity to, show the world his genius and give you a I told you I could do this kind of moment, and he's not the kind of guy to kick that moment to the curb because the best thing to do is run the football and try to win a game that way. So I think there's certainly a way where the Broncos win this game. It's at home. They have a really good defense. We're getting the same weather y'all got. It's not supposed to be great coming up on Sunday. And if you were to go back and look at Peyton Manning's run 10 years ago for Super Bowl 50, it's not like he was great. He had more turnovers than touchdowns. He only threw for about 179 yards a game and was not outstanding. Now, he got a ton more respect behind the line of scrimmage than Jarrett Stidham's going to get. from the New England Patriots. But it's not like Jarrett Stidham has to go and be the hero. I think most of this pressure is on Sean Payton.
What is your expectations for Jarrett Stidham going into this? Because we don't have a lot of experience. I think you and I would both agree he's not a starter in the National Football League, but it also sounds like you and I agree in the Broncos can absolutely win this game. Now, I don't think they're winning in high-scoring game, but if you told me, like, if this was a Week 8 game and the Broncos at home with their backup quarterback beat the Patriots and they beat them 17-13, it's not like you or I would come on here and think this is the biggest upset of the year. So I do think there is a pathway for Sean Payton to coach Stidham up where he throws for 200 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and they can ride the defense all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think that stat line is pretty perfect. I don't even know if he has to throw for 200 yards, if I'm being honest. I think one of the biggest things, and maybe this is something that a guy like Stiddy, who's a little older and done it for longer, learned from Bo. He lost the quarterback competition 2 years ago at training camp because he was holding on to the ball too long and trying to make a play. And Sean is terrified of that happening in the real game. That's why Bo became his starter. So Stidham has learned, get rid of the football, do not take sacks, and incompletion is actually okay because you live to fight the next down. I really believe, I'm talking about like a game where he's completed 12 balls for 165 yards, has that 1 touchdown, and then just leads a few field goal drives. I think that's good enough to win this game because I think the Broncos defense is going to get after Drake May. I think there will be a couple turnovers on that side where Stidham then has a short field. And you could be talking about Stiddy had 3 drives where all he had to do was get 1 first down and they scored 9 points because of 3 field goals. And Denver wins this game 19-13.
Josh, one more thing here. I'm happy to get your thoughts on this. It kind of sounds to me like you're picking Denver to win this game. Paint me the scenario. Take us through how Denver pulls off the upset. And I use upset in loose air quotes, but when you're a 4.5-point favorite, technically it is an upset. They were a 2-1 underdog at the very beginning of the week. Tell me how they pull off this upset.
I can't argue with the upset. You said it. Vegas has been doing it right for a while, and they don't have the number on their side. So, yeah, I would call it an upset. And I would say it's that. It's Stidham, no turnovers, no mistakes, and very minimum sacks, 2 or less sacks. The Broncos running backs, who had 10 carries total in the divisional round and they still won, that number has to start at 25. So Stidham has a touchdown, no interceptions, 2 or less sacks, and the Broncos running backs have 25 or more rushes for at least 115 yards. Going back to 2000, Carrington, Super Bowl teams have rushed in the playoffs for at least 114 yards a game. Denver has to get to that number. They must win the turnover battle, and Jarrett Stidham has to throw at least 1 touchdown.
That is our guy, Josh Dover, joining us on the show, getting you ready for the AFC Championship game as his Broncos take on the New England Patriots. Josh, if you're on with us in 2 weeks, that means you guys have gone to San Francisco, my man. Looking forward to a great game on Sunday.
I hope so, and I got to tell you, it's kind of nice to come together in our hatred for the Buffalo Bills instead of take shots at one another.
100%. Josh, you and I are on the same page. Every other American athlete gets criticized to absolutely no end when they lose. Josh Allen had 4 turnovers in the game, and yet we're blaming everybody else from Josh Allen. That's what makes me hate Buffalo more than anything. They've never done anything to me. I just hate the amount of excuses we make for their quarterback because we don't do this for James Harden. We don't do this for Jalen Hurts. We don't do this for Chris Paul, but somehow we started doing this for Josh Allen. I hate it.
Keep that bridesmaid dress ironed up and in the closet, Josh, because that's all he's ever going to be.
That is our guy, Josh Dover, joining us on the show today. I am very happy that we can unite with our dislike for Josh Allen. I really don't like the way that we discuss Josh Allen. I don't like the way that we treat Josh Allen. It upsets me. That's what it is. It just upsets me. Rob, you know what? I have kind of changed my position. This might be the hour of Carrington is on the other side of things. Because I don't think I'm coming around to EB. I better understand Eric Bieniemy than I did 5 days ago. I also was kind of not believing the weather, I would say, on Tuesday. And I thought they were kind of building it up a little bit. You know how they do. Hy-Vee and Price Chopper and Constantino's come together as some kind of grocery store conglomerate And then they get us all in a frenzy so we can go buy up all the eggs, all the bread, all the milk for basically a day and a half of being inside. I was thinking that at the very beginning of the week. But as we are getting closer and closer to the weather, and I'm seeing the way that the weather people are talking, the way they're moving things around, I am coming to the side of, all right, maybe Sunday it's not going to be great. I don't think it's going to be like the worst weather we've ever seen before. I don't think we're getting a blizzard in any way. But I do think from Saturday night until the middle of the day Sunday, I'm going to guess that we should not be outside, that it is not in your best interest to be out driving around, that the weather conditions are going to say, why don't you just stay inside today? Here's the latest from Channel 9.
The snow that is on the way tonight. That'll begin tonight after midnight into tomorrow morning. Snowfall amounts here for the winter storm warning, which goes into effect midnight through Sunday afternoon, though I think it's going to end in many communities before Sunday afternoon, say for central Missouri, 4 to 10 inches. I know that's a really big spread. That's like, okay, 1 to 10 inches of snow. But the way that this storm's coming in is that those amounts are going to be stacked like a layer cake, and the totals are going to drop off sharply on the north side. So 4 inches up to the north, and then by the time you get down to maybe Clinton and Warsaw and Butler, there is the potential of up to 10 inches. So all those other numbers, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, are going to fall in between. And then lower amounts within our winter weather advisory. This is Friday night, again through Sunday afternoon, but I think it's going to end in northern Missouri by Sunday morning. 2 to 4 inches of snow is possible. So again, just kind of stacked up, and the ranges reflect that. It's just really compressed in here to the north of Interstate 70. Here's some takeaways. Less snow north of Interstate 70, more snow south of Interstate 70. For Kansas City, I'm going to go for about a range of 3 to 6 inches across the metro.
No, I'm no weather person. We're going to have a weather person on the show later because I think the weather is the number one story. It sounds like if you live in the city, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I don't think it's going to be that bad if you live in the city. If you live south of Kansas City in the suburbs and the rural areas, it don't sound like it's going to be a whole lot of fun for you. It don't sound like it's going to be that great. Like Harrisonville, further south. It doesn't sound like it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, that's a long way from where I live. So, hey, I wish you the best. But it sounds like me, you, Rob, that live in the city, it doesn't sound like it's going to be that bad outside. I'm not advising you to be going around, but it sounds like the kids won't have school on Monday. Maybe they won't have school on Tuesday. You'll be inside for a couple of days, watching a little Netflix, finishing up his or hers, watching a little football, going sledding, building a little snowman. I kind of think we get one of these a year now. You know, we got one last year. This is our big one for the year, and then this will kind of be the end of it. You know, we'll come out on the other side. The Super Bowl will be here. Spring training will be here. Opening day will be here before you know it. I mean, we still won't know where the Royals are going to be, but, you know, we're moving the year along. That's kind of what this feels like to me. It is going to snow, but it sounds like it's not going to be that bad if you live in the city.
And we'll have Joe Loria of Fox 4 on the show in the 5 o'clock
Shout
hour.
out to him.
He will do a lot better job with this than we will. I think the big thing is the cold. Like, it's not just like, man, I don't like being outside in the cold. It's like a, blank you type of cold.
Oh, it's going to be real cold.
It's going to be miserable. Like, I heard Brian Busby this morning on Fesco and Dusty, and he called it a bitch. Like, he said it's going to be an absolute nightmare. That's what he said.
We're using that kind of language on the show.
Brian Busby's going nuts.
This is a family show.
Apparently not this morning with Brian Busby. That's what he said.
He said that on the TV?
It's on. There's a clip.
Oh, my goodness.
He said it on with Fesco and Dusty Hales on the show earlier today.
Oh, my goodness.
So you know what? It's going to be.
I thought he was a good Christian man. I didn't know. I didn't know Brian Busby was speaking like this on the TV. He said that word?
He said it on the radio.
Oh,
but
my
yes.
goodness. I'm going to grab my pearls. I'm offended. By golly, I can't believe Brian Busby would speak this way on the television. I can't believe it.
That's
I'm
the problem.
stunned.
I mean, this was this morning.
Okay, the wind chills are going to be a
sure.
Oh, here you go.
That's a cut from the show.
Play it again. I missed it.
Okay, the wind chills are going to be a
sure.
Oh, I couldn't really hear. That wasn't cut very well.
Fesco ran right over it.
How do we know he said it then? How do we know that was the case? Josh Dover said maybe the greatest thing someone has said on this show before. Let's just do the say it out loud test. What do you guys know Phillip Rivers for? Like, what do you know him for? Not being able to get it done. Potential Hall of Fame talent, great quarterback, great father, competitor. I don't know too many people with bad things to say about Phillip Rivers. He doesn't even curse. He doesn't have a potty mouth, a sailor mouth like Brian Busby. Dagnabbit. That's what we know Phillip Rivers for. But you know him for not being able to get it done. Not being able to get over the hump. You would then hire that person to be your head coach to then get you over the hump? Don't make a lot of sense to me. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. None, actually. I can't believe that they would even entertain this idea. This, to me, is listening too much to Josh Allen. This is a Josh Allen. They have a relationship. They're friends. And Josh Allen suggested if you interview Phillip Rivers, and now you're going to do everything in your power to make Josh Allen happy. This is giving your quarterback too much credit. I know that your quarterback should be involved, and he's your most important employee. And yeah, you should absolutely listen to what your best employee has to say. But interviewing somebody who's never coached before? Come on now. No. We know they're not hiring Phillip Rivers to be their head coach. We know that is not the case. If that's the case, then Josh Allen has as much power as any athlete we've seen this side of LeBron James in the last 20 years if he can get Phillip Rivers hired. LeBron's the only person we've seen do this kind of stuff. LeBron will get you traded. He'll get his son on the team. He'll get the coach fired. LeBron has been able to yield just incredible power over the last 20 years. If Josh Allen can get Phillip Rivers hired as the Bills coach, he's LeBron James. That's who he is. He's LeBron James. I had no clue this whole time. I mean, I should have known his propensity to not come through in big moments and flail around. I should have seen it coming a mile away, but he absolutely will be LeBron James if this happens.
I'll say this. I don't want to say I'm a Josh Allen defender, but I think Josh Allen is eventually going to win a Super Bowl. I will change my opinion. I will do a 180. Real big reversal if his coach is Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was coaching Alabama high school football before he started playing last year. And now he's going to coach the Buffalo Bills? I know he's interviewed. I don't think the interview's going to go anywhere.
Saying he coached high school football is, I'm sorry, that's not coaching. I mean, I understand that
he
as being a coach.
Yes.
I'm just saying that's not, usually your career trajectory is not, I was at Blue Valley North, and then the next year I'm coaching the New Orleans Saints. That's not normally you start at the high school level, and then you go be a coordinator at the college level, and then you work your way up.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I'm coaching sophomore football in Alabama, and now I'm going to coach one of the most enticing job openings in the NFL in 10 years.
I don't think it's a bad idea to interview him, just talk to him, but he can absolutely not get the job. If he gets the job, the Bills will never win the Super Bowl. Pencil them every year for no.
That man Phillip Rivers really wants the company to pay for his insurance. That's why he came back to play with the Colts, so somebody else could pick up the insurance, and now he wants to work in the NFL so somebody could pick. I know it when I see it. He wants to coach in the league? Come on now. This is crazy. This is really crazy that they would even be considering doing something like this.
It's just such a bad idea. So bad. Just the absolute worst idea. Listen, I don't think Brian Daboll is the world's best head coach, but you can imagine if you're a Brian Daboll, a former NFL head coach who took a team to the playoffs, you coached Josh Allen, you were liked in the building, you interview and you find out you don't get the job because Phillip Rivers, who coached 4A Alabama high school football, is now the guy.
Hold on, let's not disrespect his time there. He did go 42-16 coaching his son Gunnar Rivers.
Okay, so he had the best player in the field.
Dominating at St. Michael Catholic High School in Fairhope, Alabama.
What level is that?
4A. You said it right. In 4A.
I was literally just He's playing for none of those kids are.
I also want to point out, I mean, they just made the state semifinals. They didn't win the whole thing when they were there, which, I mean, is Phillip Rivers-esque. They got close to winning the championship, but didn't win the championship. But, yeah, please don't disrespect the time that Phillip Rivers put in at St. Michael Catholic High School in Fairhope, Alabama, coaching the 4A to the semifinals in 24 and 25. How many St. Michael's high schools do you think there are?
Oh, saying dozens is undershooting it.
I think it might be thousands.
That and St. Thomas, like, they're just a million of them.
I think, like, if we had to make a list of, like, what's the most popular name for a high school, St. Michael's is probably in the top 5. Like, Central is probably number 1. Like, every place has a Central high school. St. Michael might be high up on the list of schools.
I think there's a lot of St. Thomas Aquinas.
For sure.
A lot of those across the country. Yeah, like a lot of the generic, like, Saint Blank, I think, are everywhere.
Yeah, shout out to St. Michael.
But he lost the semifinals both years. Did I hear that right?
and then 24
so
and 25.
So he went to the semifinals and bounced back and lost the semifinals again.
Yeah.
He better be losing to the Hoover High or something. Like, what is happening?
Two-a-days. Did you watch Two-a-days?
I love Two-a-days.
Who didn't love Two-a-days, man? Who didn't love Two-a-days? What a time. We might just name random MTV shows in the next segment. That might be what we do. I love it. If you want to text in a random MTV show, I would really appreciate it. All right, keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Coming up on Sunday in the Pro Football Playoffs for the AFC Championship, New England, a 4.5-point road favorite at Denver. Total of the game, 42.5. And Denver will be starting its backup quarterback in the game, but Denver's head coach has made it known that he's going to sling it. He's not going to have a conservative game plan here, and I think Denver's backup quarterback can play well enough to score some points. And on the flip side, we think New England's stud second-year quarterback will be able to score on the Denver defense. So coming up on Sunday in the AFC Championship, let's go over 42.5, New England and Denver. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
It's about time pros had one partner for the whole job. Why juggle 10 different suppliers when one can do it all? At the Home Depot, you'll save with pricing built for pros. You'll stay on track with job site deliveries, scheduled, next day, or same day. And you'll get every size, every finish, every job lot quantity you need. one partner for the entire job. That's how pros get more done. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This Wednesday, January 28th, our friends at Centric are hosting a KC Tech Career Summit at Centric. It's open networking with KC area tech professionals, facility tours, breakout conversations with instructors, career services, and a live panel featuring former Centric students and local employers, plus a Q&A.
Whether you're just starting out, considering a career change, or simply interested in what the tech field offers, this summit offers you a gateway to that. Please RSVP in advance by going to Centric.com and clicking the KC Tech Summit at the top of the page.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Hey, Mike's got this. Olathe, that's a stall. 35 northbound just before 119th. Scoot to the left through there. We do have a new problem. Another stall, 435 eastbound just before 49, 470. Scoot to the left. I'm down with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
There's a story right now that should be the #1 story in sports that I think kind of goes to show you the decline of just college basketball conversation. So for those of you that are not keeping up, currently on Baylor, there's a player on Baylor's team who was drafted in the NBA. Drafted in the NBA. This person has played on multiple G League teams, played in the Summer League, who is currently playing college basketball. This same thing is now happening with Alabama's team. They have a player who went through the entire draft process, was a professional, was getting paid as a professional. It didn't work out as a professional, and somehow he is still maintained amateur status. Now, I hate to ever be in a position of arguing and defending the NCAA, but it has to be acknowledged. The NCAA is ruling, I think, in the favor that the public wants finally, but just they get overturned every single time when these things go to court. For example, with Diego Pavia. Diego Pavia played JUCO football and then went to go play in D1. He ran out of eligibility. The NCAA told him, no, you're done. Diego Pavia then sued the NCAA because JUCO sports is not under the NCAA provisions and guidelines, and the court ruled in Diego Pavia's favor. He could keep playing. That same thing is happening to Trinidad Chambliss. The same exact thing is happening. He has played 5 years of college football. He played at a D2 school. He then transferred to Ole Miss. The NCAA has told him, no, you're done. He is now filing an injunction in the state of Mississippi, and it is widely believed that he is going to play this upcoming year. So I think the NCAA is doing what the public wants. I am all for player empowerment. I'm all for player movement. I don't have any problem with the players being paid, but it's like anything. There has to be rules. Nobody thinks that you should drive 25 miles an hour on the highway. We also don't think you should be able to drive 150 miles an hour on the highway. There has to be a limit. There has to be a restriction. There has to be some rules. Right now, the NCAA is trying to create rules, and the courts every single time keep telling them, no, you cannot have any rules, which on one way I get. If you're not going to treat them like employees, how can you really control them from doing what they want to do? But I think that is creating a lot of the confusion. So the reason I think this would be a top story, if this was 1997, you could not get drafted into the NBA, be a pro, have a two-way contract. One of the kids played in 3 NBA games and is now filing to play with the NCAA. This would be the top story on SportsCenter. This would be the #1 story. But we don't care about college basketball until March, so I don't really think the public is paying attention to that. So the reason we're talking about this, so for Alabama's team, one of these kids that I'm talking about, he got drafted. He played for 3 different G League teams. He was in the NBA. He is now with Alabama. The NCAA said, no, you are no longer an amateur. He filed an injunction with the court. It is currently being discussed. He is eligible to play tomorrow. Here is the head coach at Alabama, I think, saying the quiet part out loud.
First of all, the system's clearly broken, and I'm all for figuring out a way to fix it. But since the NCAA has already allowed professionals to play virtually every team we've played this year or will play as a former professional player on their roster, you tell me how I'm supposed to tell Charles and the team that we're not going to support them when he's been deemed legally eligible to play. So Charles is still within his 5-year window. He's 23 years old. He's pursuing his degree here at Alabama. We've got a roster spot open, so this is not taking any opportunities away from a high school recruit or anybody else. Charles shouldn't be punished for choosing to go the academic route out of high school rather than the professional route like the international players did. So again, my personal opinion on all this is we need a uniform and transparent system that doesn't punish the Americans, that takes the hypocrisy out of it, that gives equal treatment to Americans and international players both, while also allowing high school players the opportunities they need coming out of school. So someone should be able to come up with a system that checks all those boxes. But for now, we're going to continue to support Charles, our team, and we're working closely with our administration, our compliance department on all this. So that's what I've got on that.
I mean, I don't know how we solve this. This is not even telling you that I have the answer. I don't have the answer. But I'm telling you, this can't be the answer. The kid that he is talking about, he was in college in 2022. He played college basketball. He left college basketball to try to pursue an NBA dream. He went undrafted, played Summer League, played for the Austin G League team, Grand Rapids, and played for the Detroit team. He flamed out. He is still very much within his 5-year window and now has decided to come back and play college basketball. I don't know the answer. I know this can't be the answer. I don't know how we solve this thing. If the NCAA tries to have a rule and then the court tells you, no, that's not it, then who are we trusting to figure out the rules here? Are we going to let the government try to figure out the rules of what makes you a college player and what doesn't make you a college player? Because I hear Nate Oates and the argument that he is making, I think is a very fair argument. Man, if your team has an international player on your team, then you have a professional on your team. They don't have the traditional high school system that we had. That kid was making money to play basketball wherever he was, and he has made the decision to come over to America and now play under the American basketball system to try to obviously get a chance to go to the NBA. So the argument, I think, is very, very fair. Hey, if we're letting international kids come over here who were pros where they were, then why are they not able to play here? Very, very fair argument. I also hear Nate Oates, again, saying the quiet part out loud. Hey, we realize this is a really messed up situation, but it's my job to try to win. And if you were telling me that this kid legally can play and we do not have to forfeit because of it, then it's my responsibility to put the best team out there, and that's what I'm doing. Like, some of these things in college athletics, we keep saying, oh, we want a commissioner. Oh, we want this. Well, at some point, everybody keeps telling me the system's broken. Well, all the people that think the system's broken need to sit down and we need to try to figure out how to get it to work. Because ultimately, I think we all want the same thing. I think the public, I think the players, I think the coaches all want the same thing. A clear set of rules for everybody to follow. That's how any system works. A clear set of rules and guidelines of what you can and cannot do. And right now, we have created such incredible gray areas in the sport. One, because they're not employees. It just creates so many weird situations. This entire thing is broken, and we need to start over from the beginning. This seems very, very obvious to me that we just need to start over. The rules have drastically changed. So we need to come up with a system that adapts to where we are today. the same way that baseball adapts, the same way that football adapts. The rules of how to play baseball have changed over the last 5 years. We added a pitch clock. We changed the bases. We've done all these things. The collective bargaining agreement, you then change the rules of what it means to be a free agent. What's arbitration? These things are collectively bargained. That's what we need in college athletics. But we're not going to do it. We're going to do what we always do with college athletics. We're going to keep arguing about the system like we've been arguing about the system basically our entire lives. The thing is that the system has just radically changed.
I don't disparage Nate Oates or Scott Drew, by the way, in the Big 12, who added pros. I just hate that right now, the path to success in college sports is find a pro, see if he has eligibility, put him on your roster, file an injunction, play him. Now, the kid at Baylor has not been good. I forget his name off the top of my head. He has been not good.
That's not surprising.
I saw him.
That's not surprising.
I saw him last week against Kansas. Flory Badunga just absolutely dominated that kid. I don't think he's very good, but you shouldn't be able to add G League castoffs to your roster because eventually, and maybe it's the kid at Alabama, that kid's going to be good enough where he is a difference maker, and you're going to be like, wait a second, the 25-year-old G League player is creating an advantage for this team. I don't know if it's the courts, I don't know who needs to step in, but right now the system of we file injunction, we get our kid is a bad system.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rule should be very, very simple. I think the rule should be simple. You get 5 years from your high school kid graduating to play college sports. You get 5 years. And if you fall outside of that window, I'm sorry that it worked that way, but that's the system that we should have. That's the system. Again, I'm not telling you I have all the answers. I don't think anybody has all the answers, but I think everybody is starting to agree this system does not work, and no one seems to be happy with the system that we have. We can keep talking about this, 913-586-7965. We'll also get back to the AFC and NFC championship game. We got 3 football games left this NFL season. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've got that little fender bender now up at 210 Highway eastbound just past 435. Right lane is blocked near Olathe, 35 northbound at 119th. Scoot to the left through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus comes out swinging. Highlight machine Justin Gaethje collides with Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in a must-see high-octane main event. Plus, Sean Sugar O'Malley faces off against Song Yadong in a stand-up war filled with high-level striking. Pay-per-view just got knocked out. Stream UFC 324 live on January 24th, only on Paramount Plus. Visit ParamountPlus.com/UFC to get started.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
I found this to be really interesting in sort of the commentary about the AFC and NFC championship game. I think a lot of times whenever we as sports fans, as NFL fans, have conversations about what you need to do to build your team, we kind of talk about it like it's a formula. You know, you want to get the hot new 40-something-year-old head coach. You want to get the traditional franchise quarterback. You want to build that way through the draft, and you go win a championship. And that's a great way to do it. No one's saying that's the wrong way to do it. But sometimes when we have these conversations, I think we talk about it through the guise of there's only one way to do it. Look at the 4 teams that are remaining in the AFC and NFC championship games. All of these teams are radically different. The Rams and Seattle, they have the under 40-year-old whiz kid. Mike Macdonald has proven himself to be a really, really good defensive-minded head coach who has worked his way up from being a decade ago was an assistant for the Ravens, worked himself up to be a defensive back coach, got a chance to be a linebacker coach, left to go be a defensive coordinator at Michigan, excelled in that job, was the Ravens defensive coordinator for the last couple of years, and now is a head coach in the National Football League. Like, you have seen a guy do it on the defensive side. It wasn't that long ago when we were having these conversations and people were saying you can't hire a defensive-minded head coach. You got to go find the Sean McVay. You got to go find the Kyle Shanahan. Seattle found the right guy for what they were trying to build. He has built a phenomenal physical defense and has them 60 minutes away from the Super Bowl. Mike Macdonald's path as the defensive mind and Sean McVay's path as an offensive mind are very, very similar. McVay is a unicorn in a lot of ways. What was he, 32 years old when he took over as a head coach? I'm talking about a guy who just zoomed through the pipeline and then got it as an offensive-minded head coach. We've seen him take 2 different quarterbacks to a Super Bowl. Took Jared Goff the first time, took Matthew Stafford. I mean, he has helped turn Matthew Stafford into a Hall of Famer. He was a good quarterback with the Lions. You now put him in your system, in your scheme. You won a Super Bowl with him. It looks like he's going to win MVP this year, a first-team All-Pro kind of guy. You took a really good player with a lot of good skills and turned him into that guy. But the way you acquired Stafford was not the traditional way of doing it. You acquired a quarterback who was already in his 30s, and you've been to potentially 2 Super Bowls with that quarterback. If you look at the New England Patriots, I would say that they've done it the more traditional way. Maybe you would say the exact same thing about the Broncos, even though you don't have Bo Nix going to be there. But the Patriots, they were bad. They were bad at the right time. They got the quarterback. They then found the right coach to pair with them. They got a good offensive mind in Josh McDaniels, and they have had great success this year. You look at the Broncos. Now, I would say the kind of head coach that they hired, a little bit different. They didn't go out and get the 40-something-year-old whiz kid. They went back to get Sean Payton, a coach who was in his 60s when they hired him, a guy with an incredible track record who could coach offense. You had to get through the first year with Russell Wilson and his contract. It didn't end up working out. You then hire Sean Payton for him to have the ability to go pick his quarterback. He did pick his quarterback in Bo Nix, and in his second year as a starter, he helped get him to the AFC Championship game. So we've seen 4 teams acquire their quarterback in all different ways, have acquired their head coach in very different phases, but all 4 of these teams have found the success. So there's just not one way to do this. The only way to not win the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl is not be bad in the right year, get the number 1 overall pick, get the right quarterback and hit. Sure, that's one way to do it. But you could absolutely win a Super Bowl the way that Seattle was trying to win a Super Bowl. You could absolutely win it the way that the Rams have tried to win it. I mean, it wasn't that long ago we were all laughing at the Rams and how they spent all these picks and they ruined their salary cap. I mean, it wasn't ruined for that long. They got all of that stuff back. They drafted Puka Nacua. They drafted Kyron Williams. They drafted Blake Corum. Now, they've added some free agents in the interim. You went out and you got Devontae Adams and you've done some other things, but this is a team in their roster building in the Rams that have never done it the conventional way. They've never been the team to hoard picks. They've never been the traditional homegrown kind of team. And they have had much success as anybody this side of Kansas City and Philadelphia over the last 5 years or so. There is just not one entryway to go to the Super Bowl. And sometimes the way that we discuss it, it's get the right coach, get the right quarterback, that's it. Well, how do you get the right quarterback? It's not just burning draft picks. Sometimes it's going out and spending the money to go get a Sam Darnold. Sometimes it's making a trade to go get a Matthew Stafford when he's available and it's something that works out. There's just been multiple ways that we've seen teams do this over the last handful of years and how they get to a championship.
I agree. I don't see it differently. I think this, though, and maybe we're saying the same thing, we're just saying it differently. I think the path to be most consistently in this position is nailing the coach, being bad in the bad year, and drafting the quarterback. And maybe being bad is relative. Like, you know, the Broncos were not the number 1 overall pick when they took Bo Nix. Like, it wasn't this can't-miss Peyton Manning unicorn. Like, they found their guy a little later in the draft. Drake May is be bad in the right year. But of the 4 teams in the AFC, NFC championship games this weekend, what teams do you think are most likely to be back in a championship game? I'm betting you're going to take the Patriots and Broncos.
Probably New England. Yeah, for sure.
New England's probably the top of the list. I'm betting if you rank them, though, you probably have maybe Denver or LA at 2, probably a toss-up, and the other ones coming at 3, 4. So you're right. In an individual season, it is not there's only one way to win that year. We have seen it too often, different ways. But I think the best way to be consistently in this position, and being in the position gives you the best chance, is to draft the franchise quarterback and ride him to greatness. One of the reasons why people like me think Josh Allen will eventually break through and win one is because they drafted him. He's always in or around this game. To a cross-sport analogy, this shows absolute favorite thing, or at least mine. Remember when people were down on Bill Self? Well, he can never get over that Elite Eight hump. Well, he's in the Elite Eight every year. Eventually, he's going to break through and get into a Final Four. Drafting the franchise quarterback more often than not gets you in this moment, and this moment gives you a chance to break through.
I guess maybe where I would disagree with you a little bit is, as much as we talk about getting the franchise quarterback, I think it's much easier to get there if you have the top 5 coach. I've seen Kyle Shanahan do it with Jimmy Garoppolo. I've also seen him do it with Brock Purdy. You and I both don't think that those guys are the traditional franchise quarterback type. But we've seen Sean McDermott have the franchise quarterback here for the last couple of years. John Harbaugh had the franchise quarterback for the last couple of years. Those guys have 0 appearances, while Kyle Shanahan has 2 appearances and got his team to the second round of the playoffs again. Sean McVay took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl. He's got Matthew Stafford here, and it looks like he could potentially take him. Let's see what ends up happening. Like, when we have these conversations about it, it's not only just the quarterbacks that are also here in these situations. It's also coaches and their ability to problem solve and figure it out. Your roster's going to turn over. This is a very different Rams team that went to the Super Bowl with Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham on that 1-year deal and Aaron Donald. This is a drastically different team. But this team is just as dangerous as those teams were. San Francisco, the team that they played. So I hear what you're saying about quarterbacks, and I think we're largely on the same page. The best way to create sustained long-term success is to have one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. But also, if you're not going to be one of those teams, man, you got to make sure that you take a big swing on head coach. And if you take a big swing on head coach and it works, look at what could happen. We were not talking about Mike Macdonald as being one of those kind of guys. Like, there's a Mike Macdonald, I'm guessing, in this coaching cycle. He is a rising, up-and-coming defensive mind in the National Football League that when he gets hired, it's not going to get the fanfare of a Harbaugh in New York. It's not going to get the fanfare of some of these things, but you end up making the right decision. Like, how do we not know that's not what Jesse Minter is? That's absolutely what Jesse Minter could be. Jesse Minter could be Mike Macdonald. He could be a team that, hey, they needed a new voice. They needed a new direction. He's 42 years old. Next thing you know, you look up and Baltimore finds themselves in the Super Bowl in 2 years because they ended up making this hire. I do think we are seeing a shift with general managers, and they seem much more open to hiring the 41, 42-year-old, doesn't have a lot of experience, but is a really bright mind, and they're taking a gamble on what that guy could potentially be. I'd much rather my organization do that than hire Mike McCarthy. Like, if you were telling me those are the two options, and I can hire a 39-year-old up-and-coming head coach or Mike McCarthy who's 62 years old, I'd much rather take the chance at the guy who could end up being one of those generational talents.
I don't disagree with you, but to play devil's advocate, isn't the AFC two retreads? Like, I think Sean Payton is better than Mike McCarthy. But isn't Sean Payton just Mike McCarthy? He was a guy who was a good coach at his first stop and was literally at Fox. And then they brought him in, and now they went to the playoffs last year, and now they are staring down the barrel of potentially winning the Super Bowl. I wouldn't pick them, but they are a game away from the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
That is very much possible.
The Broncos could very easily win this game.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel. He is not the 32-year-old whiz kid when the Patriots signed him. He was a guy who was in Tennessee. He got fired at Tennessee. He then went and was like a quality control or a linebacker coach. He did like some off-the-field coaching job for a year somewhere, and now he's back with the head coaching job of the Patriots. But he was not the up-and-coming 39-year-old, wow. He wasn't Clint Kubiak, for an analogy. So I do think GMs, I'm happy they are now taking the swing on the Mike McDaniels, McDonald, Kubiak's going to get a job this offseason. They are willing to take that shot. But it's not like the league has totally pivoted. It's a 42-year-olds league, because there's still people who are hired like Sean Payton and Mike Vrabel who can show you, hey, just because we're an old dog doesn't mean we can't win at a higher level.
And Vrabel to me is like in a really weird category, because like I don't think anybody didn't think that Vrabel wasn't a good head coach. And Vrabel it just made all the sense in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it literally made all the sense. But, man, you were starting to see that shift. You're starting to see teams take a chance on a D'Amico Ryans. You're starting to see teams take a chance on a Mike Macdonald. And those teams are, if you got a little bit of patience and you let them build the team accordingly, look at what you can turn into. D'Amico Ryans has had great success in Houston. Mike Macdonald, they're the best team right now in the National Football League. These coaches, by going the unconventional route, they certainly have found themselves in contention to do something in the postseason. Coming up on the other side, we're going to take a trip out to Seattle, Washington, and be joined by Mike Salk. He covers the Seahawks. They're the favorite heading into the NFC Championship game. That's next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you inside the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take a shot on the upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. It's championship weekend, it's January, the weather is cold. I expect low-scoring games, which means keep your eye on the unders. Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's about time pros had one partner for the whole job. Why juggle 10 different suppliers when one can do it all? At the Home Depot, you'll save with pricing built for pros. You'll stay on track with job site deliveries, scheduled, next day, or same day. And you'll get every size, every finish, every job lot quantity you need. One partner for the entire job. That's how pros get more done. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid of Rob Seid Ford. Fresh off a record-breaking year and a successful run at Ford's 2025 Top Volume Award. Rob, how did you do it?
Kevin, it's simple. We pulled out all the stops on price, on trade values, on inventory, and made sure our customers got an experience they couldn't find anywhere else.
Well, the race isn't over. 2026 is here, and you're back in the chase again.
That's right, and we're going even harder this year. More inventory, more aggressive trade-in values, and a buying experience other dealers just can't match.
Well, you're not just talking, you've got the receipts. Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in Kansas City by KC Magazine.
The recognition matters, but what actually matters is how you feel when you call or visit Rob Seid Ford.
Inventory, value, transparency, and no pressure. That's why people keep coming back.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit us online at robsight.com.
Rob Seid Ford. Buy right. Drive happy.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
This one brought to you by Buckner's Heating and Cooling. Several stalls to watch for. Overland Park, 35 northbound at 95th. Left lane is blocked. 35 southbound just past Mission. Right lane blocked there. And then you've got, 210 Highway eastbound just past 435. Right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
All right, we're going to catch up with Mike Salk in a bit. Rob, are you seeing the growing controversy right now in Clemson? Are you seeing this?
I have seen Dabo's comment, so yes.
Okay, do you know what happened? Maybe you didn't see it. I just learned what happened during the commercial break. So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, there is a player that recently transferred from Clemson to Ole Miss. This player reached an agreement with Clemson and was going to come back. He had signed with Clemson, Dabo Sweeney is saying that new head coach at Ole Miss, Pete Golding, the one that took over for Lane Kiffin, who coached them in the college football playoff, he is saying that he has proof that while the kid, the linebacker in question, was in class, Pete Golding texted him and said, I know you've signed, but what's your buyout? The kid then engages in the conversation with Pete Golding, and Pete Golding, in the text conversation, offers the kid $1 million to get out of his commitment with Clemson to come over to Ole Miss. The kid has now done that. And Dabo went on a 6-minute rant about this. Dabo says he's got the text and proof to prove everything that he is saying in all of this. Listen to this. Quote, it is total hypocrisy what Ole Miss is doing. We have a broken system and there are no consequences for tampering. We have no rules and no government. I feel for the young man, honestly. I blame the adults. Dabo goes on and says, I stay in my lane most of the time, but I'm not going to let you flat out tamper with my program. If you tamper with my players, I'm going to turn you in. Dabo then goes on and says, this might take 3 days. They're either going to tell the truth or they're going to lie. All you have to do is see the evidence. This situation is like having an affair on your honeymoon, and I know for a fact it is happening at other places. This is 100% happening at other places. With everybody. This is what happened with Flory for KU. Look what happened with Flory. Flory was coming back to Kansas. I believe that Auburn pushed him into the transfer portal. I think he was then shopping around to see what the best deal was. Kansas convinced him to came back and gave him a raise. That's absolutely what happened to Flory. And that has probably happened in a lot of these single scenarios. I don't think we want to know all the things that are happening behind the scenes, but I absolutely believe and know this is happening. That even though your kid has committed, what does that mean? We've seen too many examples. What was the kid in Washington that wanted to decommit and go to LSU? They're having that current situation at Duke where he committed to coming back to Duke, and on the last day of the transfer portal, he tried to get out of the agreement with Duke to now go transfer somewhere else. You got this situation coming up. It ain't good right now in college athletics. It ain't good, man. It's not good at all. Every system needs some kind of rules. It has to be governed in some way. You cannot do this in the NFL. You cannot do this. If you signed with somebody, if you sign an NFL contract, the San Francisco 49ers cannot come to you and say, all right, well, what can we now get you to unsign your deal? No, you get penalized for that. You lose draft picks as a team if you do that. There's no penalty in the NCAA. So what does it matter? Yeah, we saw Dabo shine a light on something we all know is happening. Teams are being nasty. And if your team's not being nasty, your team's not good. That's how business is done at that level. So yeah, everybody's calling and everybody is doing this. So I give Dabo a lot of credit, but Dabo, you should probably start doing this too. Because I've seen your football team the last couple of years. Y'all need to start cheating too. Because what that is doing is absolutely cheating, in my opinion. If you know the kid is signed and you are now convincing the kid to go back on his signature to convince him to transfer to your school, I think that is a form of cheating and should be penalized by the NCAA. But we know the NCAA will likely not do anything in this scenario. So I want to play this for you guys. This is Mike Salk. He is with Seattle Sports, covering the Seattle Seahawks. And our conversation started with, when did he know that his Seahawks had Super Bowl potential?
I wish I could say there was one moment. It was more of a steady build, really, throughout the year. And you're right. I didn't think they'd be this good. I thought they'd be good. I was in Vegas a couple weeks before the season, and I took the over on the Seahawks because I thought they'd be good. But I didn't take the Super Bowl, which now I'm obviously regretting. They just kind of steady built throughout the year. They had the tough loss in Week 1 to San Francisco, and we interview Mike McDonald after every game, and he was mad. Like the most mad the next day I can remember him in the last 2 years. And I think it's because he realized just how good his team was. He knew they were better than what they showed in that opening week. And after that, it took a couple weeks to fully get there. But by about mid-season, it became pretty clear that this defense was super elite. I mean, look, we watched the Legion of Boom here. I don't know if I could quite say they're at that level. But it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, that's for sure. And the offense is not perfect, but it's still a top 5, top 7 offense in the NFL. Sam has been better than certainly I thought he was going to be this year. And I know the narrative around Sam Darnold is that he can't win the big one, and until he does, that narrative is not going to change. But, man, that guy's won 14 games the last 2 years. It's pretty hard to look at him and say that he's not a very talented, capable quarterback at this stage in his career.
Mike, I'm really curious to get your thoughts on this because you guys have had some incredible Seattle sports memories. I don't know if I've seen a game end in 10 seconds the way that I did in that NFC divisional round. Like, there was a sequence where Doug Baldwin raises the 12th man flag. San Francisco kicks the ball off. Shaheed returns it for a kick. And at that moment, I looked to my friend. I said, are you ready to watch a movie? This game is over. I've seen this story plenty of times. What was it like to be in the stadium? What was it like to feel that energy? And also, I'm assuming, feel the same feeling that I had.
Well, that was amazing, obviously, and it did really officially end the game that quickly. But for me, it was actually a few minutes later. It was at about the 11-minute mark of the first quarter when the Niners went for two, if you remember, or I'm sorry, went for fourth down. And they had a play called. Mike McDonald called timeout, and you could see Shanahan was super mad on the sideline. I think he had the right play called that was going to work. McDonald knew it, recognized it. I think he's in Shanahan's head. He calls timeout, and then they came out and ran that stupid option play with Juszczyk running and then trying to throw the I mean, it was just it basically said, we don't have any answers. I don't know what to do about this defense. I'm out of options. And right then, when that didn't work, I was like, okay, this thing is over. They've got his number, and the defensive line is just so good. And you know what happens when you face a defense with a defensive line that is just so good. That is every big loss the Chiefs have had over the last few years, and not that there have been a lot of them, but hasn't that been the recipe every single time? Just get after them with an unbelievable defensive line?
Right now, we're talking to Mike Salk of Seattle Sports, getting you ready for the NFC Championship game. Let's talk a little bit more about Sam Darnold, because it's interesting. And I get this from my being in Kansas City perspective. It's so much about quarterback, that as I'm watching this Seattle team, it really is the example of a game manager quarterback. You guys don't need Sam Darnold to be great. You don't need Sam Darnold to throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. You need Sam Darnold to play his role. And if he plays his role, you get Kenneth Walker. We'll talk about the injury to Zach Charbonnet, that offensive line and that defense. It's really a culmination of all of those things kind of coming together that has been part of this recipe, this formula for Seattle.
I don't think that I can't call Sam Darnold a game manager. I don't think that's who he is. He's got too strong an arm. He turns the ball over too often, quite frankly. And the throws he makes are not game manager throws. He's not a dink and dunk, take the underneath stuff guy. He's got a big, number 4 overall pick kind of an arm. It's just that, unfortunately, it's not really the guy you want with, to put the game on his arm the whole time. But you're right. They don't need him generally to throw for 350 yards. He plays his role. He gets the ball to JSN. But Sam is better and I don't think game manager is a dirty word either, by the way. Like, I grew up in New England watching Tom Brady in the early years when that was the knock on him. And I'm like, yeah, game manager's a good thing. Manage the game, put your team in a good position to win. I don't know that Sam that's his best skill, but man, he is a guy to me that will frustrate you with a really bizarre sack or a terrible turnover and then come back and make an unbelievable throw like the one he made to JSN on Saturday night, where you're like, oh my God, like this dude's arm talent is like, Brett Favre or something like that. So he's a mystery. He's not quite what everybody thinks of him. I have not necessarily been a huge fan all year long until it was suggested to me to stop looking at Sam Darnold as a quarterback and start looking at him as just a football player. He's a guy that his teammates love and respect and work hard for. He's one of the guys. And look, the last 2 quarterbacks here were Russell Wilson, who's not just one of the guys. I think we all know that now. And Geno Smith, who, for his own reasons, was never quite one of the guys. How many quarterbacks do you know that have been punched by a teammate? So in that regard, they seem to truly like Sam, and that, I think, has been part of the success this year as well.
One thing we talked about on the show was this, and I think it has to kind of change the way that people think, is you can't build a dynasty with the quarterback that Seattle has. You need Tom Brady. You need Patrick Mahomes. You need Joe Montana to build a dynasty. But we've seen that you can win a Super Bowl with this kind of quarterback. You just have to find yourself to be elite at other things. I think Seattle has a fantastic offensive line. I think they might have the best receiver in the National Football League, if not the second best receiver, because the best receiver plays on the team that you guys are going up against. They have the second best defense, or maybe the best defense in the league with Houston or Seattle's defense. Like, they have built themselves to be elite in so many other areas that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be elite at quarterback to just win this one Super Bowl, especially in a season where, in my opinion, Seattle has shown themselves to be the best team in the league so far.
Yeah, they're the best team in the league. The one thing that is, the opposite of that is that this Rams matchup is hard for them. I think they're a better team than the Rams on paper. I think they're playing better ball than the Rams are right now. And obviously, I do think they're better than either New England or Denver. But, it's the NFL and every given Sunday and all that jazz. But also the Rams are just a tough matchup. Stafford picks them apart the way few others do. They haven't been able to sack him or get to him really all year. And that's where, that Mike McDonald, Sean McVay, defense versus offensive geniuses does come into play. I think Mike has shown that, he's in Kyle Shanahan's head. I don't know that he's shown that yet with Sean McVay, and, Sunday's probably an opportunity to do that.
Right now, we're talking to Mike Salk, getting you ready for the NFC Championship game between Seattle and Los Angeles. Let's talk about the matchups between these two teams so far, because I think from the outside, I think you're looking at it where the Rams have maybe been better than Seattle in these first two matchups. They won the first game. They had a commanding lead and let it completely slip through. How do you feel heading into this matchup, given I know Seattle's the home team, but this is a virtual coin flip type of game?
I think it is. Two things. One, in his 2 years as an NFL head coach, Mike McDonald is 7-0 in rematches during a year. Every single time he's played a team a second or third time, he's won that game. So I do think that's relevant, the adjustments that he's able to make. Two, it does feel from the outside maybe that the Rams were the stronger team in both of those games. But I think you have to go back and really look at the first game. The Seahawks actually outplayed the Rams in the first game. The Rams outplayed the Seahawks in the second game, but the team that outplayed the other lost both of those games. So I don't know whether the Rams really showed that they were significantly better during the regular season. They're also just not playing as well as the Seahawks are right now. I mean, for the last month, the Rams have just not looked the same. They didn't look good against Carolina twice. They didn't look great against the Bears. And the Seahawks defense is humming. So do I feel good about it? Yeah. Do I feel great about it? No, not the way I did last week against San Francisco.
I always like asking people this. Tell me how the Rams win this game in your opinion. Tell me how Seattle wins this game in your opinion.
Yeah, the Rams win, obviously, I think, by just getting to Sam Darnold. And if they can do that and move his feet and in the wrong ways, force him to put the ball in jeopardy, they probably give themselves a good chance to win this game. And I guess the opposite is just true for Seattle. Don't do that, right? Run the ball well. Don't force Sam to do too much. And if they do, and if they can't run the ball, Sam's just going to have to up. He's perfectly capable of it. He just has to do it.
That is Mike Salk joining us on the show. He is with Seattle Sports. Mike, you are absolutely one of my favorite people in this business. Really happy for you guys, and excited for what should be a really exciting NFC Championship game on Sunday, man. Really appreciate your time.
Right back at you, buddy. You know how much I love you, love the show, and we'll do it again soon.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, you talk about Sam Darnold like he's Trent Dilfer. He was fifth in passing yards this year. You're right. He was fifth in passing yards this year. I think it's also important to note that Sam Darnold was third this year in interceptions. And, I mean, I'm not saying that throwing for 4,000 yards isn't a tremendous accomplishment. I mean, Trevor Lawrence threw for 4,000 yards this season. None of us think that Trevor Lawrence is a dynamic quarterback. Bo Nix this season, who clearly had a bunch of issues this season. Bo Nix was 69 yards away from throwing for 4,000 yards this season. My point more on Sam Darnold is I think there is a tier one of quarterback. I don't think that anybody puts Sam Darnold in that category, but I think he is very firmly in the he's capable, but he needs a lot of things to be right around him category. And I think we've also seen Darnold in these big kind of games. He just hasn't played well in any of these games. He just hasn't played well. He didn't play well last week in that game. Just their defense was so good. They got a defensive touchdown. They just went out there. But, I mean, last week, Sam Darnold threw for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. Like, he's kind of getting carried a little bit this season in a lot of ways, and that's fine. You don't need Sam Darnold to go out there and make a world of plays. We just need you to not lose the game. Don't turn the football over and give us a chance to win the game. In one of the games they played against the Rams, he absolutely cost them the game. He threw 4 interceptions in the game, and they lost. Followed it up the second time they played him. He was okay. He threw for 2 touchdowns, threw 2 interceptions. They got a weird 2-point conversion in that game, and they ended up winning. My stance on the NFC Championship game is simple. I think it really comes down to what version of Darnold that you get. If Darnold is a positive, I don't think the Rams win that game. If Darnold is a neutral, let's say he's a negative, or just he doesn't hurt him, doesn't help him, he is just fine in that game. I would say like he was in the playoff game against San Francisco. I would say he was fine. He threw for 120 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He didn't help. He didn't hurt. He just was there. If that's the case, I think it's a coin flip kind of game. When it comes down to their defense, how well they run the football, can they force turnovers and those kind of things. They can't overcome him being a negative. They cannot overcome it. So what version of Sam Darnold do we get in this game? Like that's the storyline to me. That's the intrigue. I'm just not high on Sam Darnold's ability. And I don't think Darnold has really given us a lot of reasons to be really high in his ability. I mean, he's thrown 1 touchdown pass in the last 2 games. I'm not super high on Darnold.
I mean, 1 touchdown in 2 games, isn't that a little bit of fun with sample size? Like, if you expand the horizon beyond 2 games, he might starting to look better. Like,
you're right, but I'm just saying is like if we go through his numbers this year, I think you will see that. I mean, like most quarterbacks, he took advantage of a lot of really bad teams and was just okay against the good teams. Like, he had 4 touchdowns against Washington. He dominated Atlanta. He dominated Arizona. But when they played the teams that you think are good, that really have a chance, he was just fine. I mean, in the 3 games against San Francisco they played this year, he threw 1 touchdown pass. They played him 3 times. He threw 1 touchdown. Against the Rams, he threw 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in the games against the Rams. In the games against the teams that you think were actually pretty decent, Sam Darnold was Sam Darnold. So you're right. That is a small sample size. I'm 100% accurate. It was a small sample size. But we've seen 2 versions of Darnold. When they've played those, even in Minnesota, he had a phenomenal season up until those last 2 games of the year. He was really bad against the Lions. He was really bad against the Rams last year in Minnesota. They lost. They fired him. So, yeah, just don't mess it up. That's all you're asking Darnold to do. Don't mess it up. I'm not saying Darnold's got to go out there and throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. No. I'm saying, Sam Darnold, can you throw for 210 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interception? If you do that, you give yourself a chance to win the game if you can play that way.
I agree. And I don't want to come off like, man, I think Sam Darnold is some exceptional quarterback. But I think Sam Darnold has been better than you're giving him a little bit of credit for this year. I don't think he's been, like, transcendent or great.
You trust him? I'm asking,
yes.
Let's say this game is close with 3 minutes to go, and Darnold got to put 1 drive together to go down the field to score. Do you think the Seahawks score? Because I don't think they score.
I mean, the favors are on the odds of the skeptic, but I would be like, I would not be stunned if he goes down the field and scores. It sounds like you're like, well, foregone conclusion, he's not scoring. I think he can score in that scenario. I think he has a better chance of scoring in that scenario than, Bo Nix, if Bo Nix was healthy. I think you're talking about Sam. Like, I don't want to reiterate the text line's point. You are talking a little bit like Sam Darnold, like he's Brad Johnson. And if they didn't have an all-world defense, they would be an 8-9 team. I think he's better than you're giving him credit for. I just don't think he's transcendent. And I think this whole postseason, the quarterbacks remaining, because of health, none of them are transcendent. And I guess Stafford's the closest one. So we are just trying to find reasons to nitpick all of them when he's been the 11th best quarterback in the NFL this year. And that is good enough to win you a Super Bowl. You're talking about him like he's 21st best quarterback in the NFL.
I think he's Alex Smith. I think he's Alex Smith. I think he's Alex Smith this year with a much better defense than Alex Smith was ever given in Kansas City. I mean, this Seattle defense is really, really good this year. They're really good. This Seattle team, I think their quarterback might be the weakest part of their team. I think they run the ball super effectively. I think their offensive line is good. They've got maybe the best wide receiver in the National Football League. They have the best defense remaining in this playoffs. Like, aside from my questions about Darnold, there really isn't a lot to dislike about this Seahawks team. I think he's Alex Smith. I think you need Sam Darnold to make maybe 2 to 3 plays in this game and not mess it up for you. And let that defense go to work. Let that crowd go to work. And I also think this is the right year to have it. Whenever we have the conversation about Alex Smith, they had to go on the road to play Tom Brady in the playoffs. They had Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown coming into town. That's not the NFL this season. It is some years, but this year, we never had a time in which we thought that Alex Smith was the quarterback of the best team in the National Football League. Seattle is currently the best team in the league with Sam Darnold. That very rarely happens. So take advantage of it this year. So I don't want to make it seem like I think he's Brad Johnson. I don't think he's Brad Johnson. I think he is Dak Prescott with a real general manager. That's who he is. Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. He never had the defense that he's had. He's never had the infrastructure. He's never had the coaching. He's never had any of those things. Darnold is the right quarterback in the right situation, and let's see if you can take advantage of it.
I think that's fair. And I think statistically Dak's probably a lot better, but I think Sam Darnold falls in that probably 8 to 17 window of quarterbacks in the NFL. And when he's playing well, he's close to 8. When he's playing poor, he's close to 17. But you can absolutely win a Super Bowl with him when everything is breaking right. And right now, I mean, you get a home game against a dome team. Everything appears to be breaking right for Sam Darnold. Doesn't mean he's going to win this weekend, but it is breaking in his direction.
I think and we can do this, I'll do it. If we do a blind test of Alex Smith's last 2 years and Sam Darnold's last 2 years, I think you would see they almost the exact same quarterback.
You say last two, like his Washington years, last two Kansas City years?
Last two Kansas City years.
Oh,
I bet if we looked up Alex Smith's last 2 years with Andy Reid in Kansas City and Sam Darnold's last 2 years, and you remember the feeling that people had about Alex Smith, I think you will see they are virtually the exact same quarterback. Just one quarterback is in a situation where you got a chance. You were not winning a Super Bowl with the defenses that Kansas City put around Alex Smith.
We have to go to break. I know this. I think it's a little bit unfair to count the defense Kansas City had. I think your original point, though, is Alex Smith in those years had to go through Ben Roethlisberger or Tom Brady, where Sam Darnold, I don't want this to come off like disrespect to Matt Stafford.
Brock Purdy. Yeah, Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy and Matt Stafford aren't Big Ben and Tom Brady in back-to-back weeks. They just aren't. Matt Stafford's probably in the Hall of Fame, but it's just different. It's everything broke right.
We got 3 football games left in the NFL season. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack with every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll get a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts mean more ways to level up your playoff bets. We are just a couple of weeks away from the NFL season completely winding down, and we're going to find out who plays in the big game. Pick the matchups you believe in. Take your shot on an upset and build a parlay that fits this championship moment. Then apply those profit boosts and go for an even bigger payout to keep the playoffs fun rolling along. Visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack for every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can test your sports IQ in real time with Robinhood Prediction Markets. It's not you against the house, it's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions all game long. You know the game, put it to use. Trade every play with Robinhood. Download the app today. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've got a crash now, Kansas side of things, 635 southbound just past K5. Right lane is blocked. Let's see, down 435 westbound at 35. Be prepared to tap your brakes. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I want to play this audio for you guys. We were talking about this before we were joined by Mike Salt. Dabo Swinney, he's the head coach at Clemson. He's very mad at Ole Miss and feels like Ole Miss tampered with one of his players. Here's what Dabo had to say about it.
This is just a really sad state of affairs, and it's, to me, we have a broken system. And if there are no consequences for tampering, then we have no rules and we have no governance. It's really just that simple, okay? This is not, let me be very clear. This is not about a linebacker at Clemson. I don't, listen, I feel sorry for I think it's a symptom of a system that you have a kid that I meet at 9:30 and he's, signing the next, like I feel sorry for the young man, to be honest with you. I blame the adults. And again, if you want to have adult world, then there needs to be adult consequences, okay? So, but this is not about a linebacker at Clemson. And I don't want anyone on our team that doesn't want to be here. I would never want that, all right? But let me tell you what it is about. It's about the next kid. And it's about the next kid. And it's about the message that is being sent if this blatant tampering is allowed to happen without any consequences. This is about protecting our program. This is about college football. That's what this is about. I stay in my lane most of the time. I've seen a lot of things in my days, and I'm like, hey, man, you just do whatever you're going to do. But here's what I'm going to do. I've always just kind of stayed in my lane and handled my business. And I've stayed focused on Clemson. But I am not going to let someone just flat out tamper with my program. If you tamper with my players, I'm going to turn you in. It's just that simple.
I don't really know if you can be that mad at what Dabo is saying. I think what he is saying is very fair and correct. Someone texted in, screw Dabo. He never embraced NIL. Cry harder. There's no rules in the Wild West. I think what all of these coaches are telling you is we don't want it to be the Wild West. We think there needs to be some rules to it. Every system needs some kind of rules to structure and work. And enough college coaches at the football level and basketball level are telling you, hey, we actually don't like the fact that there are no rules. We don't like the fact that you can be drafted into the NBA, play in an NBA game and still be eligible to play college basketball. We don't want this to be the case. I'm on the college coaches' side here. I think in the end, these coaches want the exact same thing that the public wants. I just want fairness. I want every team to follow the same rules. Every team in the NFL follows the same rules. Every team in the NBA follows the same rules. Baseball is a little bit different, but for the most part, everybody follows the same rules. We cannot say that every team in college football and college basketball follows the exact same rules. So if you see that another team in your conference is doing this, even if you don't think it's the right thing to do, man, you got to try to compete. You got to try to win. Fans don't care about fairness. Fans care about results at the end of it. So maybe you are adamantly against having this kid on your team that played in the NBA. But if you think that team, that kid can help you and help you keep your $9 million a year job and keep the fans off your back, you got no choice but to do something that you are against. That's just not a position that I think we should be putting college coaches and college programs into.
I 1,000% agree. Like, it's Dabo, join the bad system. Like, I hate to be the guy to tell you that, but you got to keep recruiting and keep making sure the money's right on these players until it's the fall. And that really sucks for football. In basketball, you got to keep these kids, happy financially and locked in and all the things all the way up until basically you start practicing basketball. And that really sucks. But Dabo's right. This should not be the system we have. We should not have a system where, and this isn't like some third-party NIL collective reached out. This is the head coach at Ole Miss said, "What's your buyout?" Can you imagine if that happened in any other sport? Any other sport. Imagine if tomorrow you found out the owner of the Yankees texted Bobby Witt Jr. and said, "What's it going to take?" You'd be like, wait a second, he's under contract. That's stupid. Like, every time we have a story on the show talking about one of the flaws in college athletics, it becomes more and more and more obvious what the fix is. Make them employees. If that player signed $1 million contract to play at Clemson, he's at Clemson.
He works there.
I don't care if Pete Golding reaches out. You're at Clemson. Washington. Hey, the same thing happened. Kid signed to stay at Washington. He then tried to jump in the portal. Some law stuff happened. He had to go back to Washington. You know what would have never happened? LSU's never reaching out once he signs the deal to stay at Washington. Make them employees.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you and I agree when it comes to this. I just want a fair system for everybody. That's it. All I want is a fair system. Someone on the text line says, yeah, but the problem is all these coaches want to cry, not because the system is unfair, but it's no longer because they no longer get the benefit of the system. I don't think that's the problem. I don't think fundamentally that these coaches have a problem with them getting paid. I don't think that. I don't think that Dabo's problem or Nate Oates' problem is that these kids are making a lot of money from playing football or basketball. They're still making a lot of money from playing football or basketball. I don't think that's fundamentally the problem. I think fundamentally the problem is this. I think fundamentally the problem is at the end of the basketball season, every basketball team is eligible to contact Flory and try to get him to leave Kansas to come play for you. And you shouldn't be able to do that. I think that's what they're upset about. I don't think this is coaches crying because, hey, these guys now have more power and they can transfer. I don't think that's their issue. I just think, Rob, to you, and I think what we agree with is you should be able to now sign a deal where if you are Darren Peterson, you sign a 2-year contract with Kansas. Now, you can go to the NBA and then void that deal. But if Darren Peterson at the end of the season says, I don't want to play here anymore, I want to go play to Kentucky, there then needs to be a conversation between Kansas and Kentucky about what the terms of letting him out is, and Kentucky pays Kansas some amount of money for him to be able to do it. You also shouldn't be able to transfer in your league that way. If you're Dylan Edwards, you shouldn't be able to preserve your red shirt at K-State and then transfer to Kansas and then be eligible to play in the Big 12. Like, there does need to be some rules of engagement here. There needs to be a code attached to it. And there just doesn't appear to be a code.
I also think as the rules need to evolve, we would then have the opposite happen. Because Carrington, if Dabo's feelings can talk about the dirty game as college athletics, we can talk about it too. As much as players are transferring because they want to chase the bag, you know what happens a lot in college sports? Coaches tell players to transfer. Hey, get out. I need your scholarship more than I need you.
Coaches are definitely cutting some of these kids, 100%.
They're not calling it cutting them, but I'll just use Kansas basketball example. I'm betting A.J. Storr was encouraged to not come back to Kansas. I'm betting Rylan Griffin was told, go find employment elsewhere. You're no longer wanted here. You know what happened if they have contracts? If you sign a 3-year deal with Williams Nwaneri, I'll just cross sport here. And you know what Nwaneri at the end of year 1 underperforms? Eli Drinkwitz can't go, listen, man, go away. It's, no, I have a contract. I'm here, or I'm going pro. And then you'd have to find a buyout. There'd be some sort of system, the same way the NFL is, where if tomorrow Patrick Mahomes said, I'm out, the Chiefs would have to be compensated in some way. I don't understand. It's clear as day, and I don't understand how everyone in the NCAA doesn't see what we see.
Yeah, I mean, this is a system right now where in the NFL, every player is a free agent at the end of the season. That's not a system that can work. Can you imagine if the Chiefs had to convince Patrick Mahomes at the end of every season, we want you to stay and that you should be here? At the end of every single season, you have to do that? You have to convince the same people over and over that that's the case? Yeah, this just, there has to be, there is a better way to do this. This is not how the NBA works. It's not how baseball works. There is a system in place that has been collectively bargained that needs to be the case in college athletics. Coming up, we're going to get you ready for the AFC Championship game, get you ready for the NFC Championship game. We're also going to take a closer look at the weather. We're going to do all of that. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've got a crash now, Kansas side of things, 635 southbound just past K5. Right lane is blocked. Let's see, down 435 westbound at 35. Be prepared to tap your brakes. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Fellas, listen up. It's 2026, and this is going to be your best year yet when it comes to sex. You know why? Because you're finally going to take the advice and try chewable tablets from Blue Chew. Blue Chew's tablets help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk in a gym membership. Be more confident where it counts. Blue Chew is a small chew for a big difference. You'll have flashbacks to your glory days, and dating that's just got longer and better for everyone. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient for your individual prescription. Just like how we love to watch the athletes that we root for show up during the game's most exciting moments, you should be able to show up when it matters during life's most exciting moments. You can discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use the promo code KFNZ at checkout. You just got to cover $5 for shipping. That's it. Go to BlueChew.com, use the promo code KFNZ, and get your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Are you ready for some action, basketball fans? Dusty Likens here. You know I am. BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, is giving players another reason to hit the court this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to every basket, every slam dunk, and every buzzer-beating shot with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and same-game parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify those winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like dark mode as well. We have lots in store between now and when the new champions are crowned. So log into BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, all throughout the basketball season to see what's new. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months.
0% event and a lifetime warranty. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Escape to your new coastal seafood paradise. Introducing Aqua Pennies, where the freshest seafood, a full-service raw bar, prime steaks and chops, exquisite handcrafted cocktails, and a one-of-a-kind atmosphere come together in perfect harmony. Aqua Pennies is now open in Park Place, Leawood. Don't miss out. Experience something truly different. Tantalize your taste buds and elevate your evening out. To learn more, go to aquapennies.com.
Coast into Aqua Pennies, now open for lunch.
Hey Royals fans, it's Vern and the Hot Stove Show is back Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Hopefully you guys are out there maneuvering safely. Doesn't look like the weather has started. We are going to be joined by Joe Loria coming up in about, 5 minutes or so. We're going to take a closer look at the weather. This is the latest weather report that we have. We'll get you the updated one here coming up in 5 minutes.
The snow that is on the way tonight. That'll begin tonight after midnight into tomorrow morning. Snowfall amounts here for the winter storm warning, which goes into effect midnight through Sunday afternoon, though I think it's going to end in many communities before Sunday afternoon, say for central Missouri, 4 to 10 inches. I know that's a really big spread. That's like, 1 to 10 inches of snow. But the way that this storm's coming in is that those amounts are going to be stacked like a layer cake, and the totals are going to drop off sharply on the north side. So 4 inches up to the north, and then by the time you get down to maybe Clinton and Warsaw and Butler, there is the potential of up to 10 inches. So all those other numbers, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, are going to fall in between. And then lower amounts within our winter weather advisory. This is Friday night, again through Sunday afternoon, but I think it's going to end in northern Missouri by Sunday morning. 2 to 4 inches of snow is possible. So again, just kind of stacked up, and the ranges reflect that. It's just really compressed in here to the north of Interstate 70. Here's some takeaways. Less snow north of Interstate 70, more snow south of Interstate 70. For Kansas City, I'm going to go for about a range of 3 to 6 inches across the metro.
So that is the latest weather report. We'll get one coming up in a bit. We also have been talking about the NCAA a lot today, and we'll get to football here coming up in just a bit. We'll make that hit number 1. So I guess to give you a couple of backstories, one story we've been talking about is Dabo Swinney today went on a 6-minute rant against Ole Miss. So the story is Clemson signed a player. The head coach at Ole Miss texted the player while he had already signed and was in class at Clemson and said, "We know that you signed. What is your buyout?" Ole Miss then convinced that player to get out of his contract. He has now signed a $1 million deal at Ole Miss. Dabo Swinney, very upset about it. We also have the issue that's going on right now in college basketball. So the latest situation that is happening, there is a player right now on Alabama's team. He played at Alabama. He then left Alabama to go to the NBA. He was undrafted in the NBA. He played in Summer League. He has been playing in the G League for the last 3 seasons. He is now playing college basketball. The NCAA told that player, no, you are not eligible to play college basketball. Alabama filed an injunction with the court. They got that player eligible. Here is their head coach talking about the situation.
First of all, the system's clearly broken, and I'm all for figuring out a way to fix it. But since the NCAA has already allowed professionals to play virtually every team we've played this year or will play as a former professional player on their roster, you tell me how I'm supposed to tell Charles and the team that we're not going to support them when he's been deemed legally eligible to play. So Charles is still within his 5-year window. He's 23 years old. He's pursuing his degree here at Alabama. We've got our roster spot open, so this is not taking any opportunities away from a high school recruit or anybody else. Charles shouldn't be punished for choosing to go the academic route out of high school rather than the professional route like the international players did. So again, my personal opinion on all this is we need a uniform and transparent system that doesn't punish the Americans, that takes the hypocrisy out of it, that gives equal treatment to Americans and international players both, while also allowing high school players the opportunities they need coming out of school. So someone should be able to come up with a system that checks all those boxes. But for now, we're going to continue to support Charles, our team, and we're working closely with our administration, our compliance department on all this. So that's what I've got on that.
I mean, Nate Oates, I think, is telling you without telling you, bro, I got a job to do, and my job is to win. Fans do not care about feelings. Fans do not care about fairness. They care about results. They care about wins. And I think this player can help us win, so we're going to do everything we can within the rules because there are no rules right now to try to go out there and do it. I love college athletics. I imagine many of you feel the same way that I do, and you also love college athletics. I just want the rules to be clear. I want the rules to be fair. I want the rules to be followed. And I think I have a track record of being very liberal, I guess would be the word, when it comes to player empowerment. I think that players should have the rights that they are having. I do think players should be getting paid. But I don't think you should be allowed to play college basketball, make the decision that you want to go be a pro, fail as a pro, and now go back and play college basketball. No, go get a real job like the rest of us. Go get a regular 9-to-5 with a 401k and a pension and go to work. You should not be allowed to now go play college basketball. You gave up that opportunity to play college basketball. I don't think that you should be allowed to play 2 years of JUCO, 4 years of D1 football, and then go to the court to try to get an extra year of eligibility like we saw Diego Pavia do, like we are currently seeing Trinidad Chambliss do with Ole Miss. I hate to come off like an NCAA apologist because I swear to you, I am not an NCAA apologist. I don't even want that to be thrown on there. I'd rather be called a Kansas driver than be an apologist for the NCAA. Honestly, I'm serious. But I'm on the NCAA side here. Right is right. Fair is fair. The NCAA is trying to enforce some rules, and every time they tell a team or a player no, the team or the player runs to the courts and then gets it tied up in the court system, and we end up just kicking the can down the road. I don't think you should be able to do that. I want every team to follow the same rules. I want Missouri to follow the same rules. I want Kansas to follow the same rules. Alabama to follow the same rules. I want everybody to have the rules clearly out there. Everybody follow them. You put the best team you can together and go out there and compete. And what we are seeing right now, it's a system that is broken, in my opinion. And a system with no rules and no regulations, that is just not a lasting model. And everybody seems unhappy with the current system that we have in the sport. Let's head to the phone lines now for hit number one. We'll catch up with Joe Loria and get the latest when it comes to the weather. Joe, how you doing today, my man?
Carrington, my man, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So let's start with this. When do you expect the weather to start? Because I'm looking outside, and it is deathly cold outside, but it's not snowing yet. When do you think the snow is going to start?
Probably, I would say, near or just after midnight. It'll be very, very light stuff. This is not going to be like a big old snowburst or anything like that. And the way it's going to work, we believe, is that the light snow that's falling right now out across central and western Kansas, as it comes our way, kind of fades away because it's coming into a lot of dry air. But eventually towards midnight, maybe even into the wee hours of tomorrow morning, yeah, we'll probably start seeing some sticking snow. It's so cold, it'll stick right away. So by daybreak tomorrow morning, we'll probably have half an inch to maybe an inch of snow on the ground. We'll kind of just slowly but surely get light snow off and on throughout the day tomorrow. By the end of the day, we'll probably have maybe 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground. That would be by the, end of the afternoon, I would be guessing. And then as we go towards tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, we'll continue to pick up a little bit more snow, especially from Kansas City south. And this is tied into this whole second thrust of snow that I've been talking about all week. Right now, it looks like the worst of that is going to be south of Kansas City. So that's good news for us. That'll keep the accumulations on the lower side of our projections. We've kind of dropped the idea down to about 3 to 6 inches. And in all honesty, I've been looking at this data for days now. I think this is probably more of a 3-inch, 4-inch type of snow than a 6-inch type of snow. So it's by no means a huge snowstorm. You'll be able to get from point A to point B tomorrow, but it's not going to be pretty. Don't get me wrong. The roads will be kind of messy, but it's not like a close the city type of snow. It's just going to come slowly and gradually. Every so often it'll pick up for a little while, and should be a real pretty snow to watch if you're stuck inside eating some chili and watching some games. But in terms of just the cold and the breeze that'll be blowing and the temperatures that'll be around 5 above, that's just no fun. No fun at all for tomorrow. Snow winds down early Sunday. I think by Sunday afternoon, the sun comes out. Temperatures on Sunday probably around 10. And we could drop 5 to 10 below Monday morning. Parents, heads up, there could be some more school closures with that and alternate means of education, if you will, on Monday with some remote learning. So bottom line, 3 to 6 inches, probably on the 3 to 4 to 5 type thing for the metro. Could be some heavier totals down towards the lakes and further on down towards southern Missouri. Oklahoma, my goodness, 10, 15 inches of snow. Oklahoma, far southern Missouri, that general area, ice further south. Big storm. We're on the northern fringe, and that's why we're probably going to get, like I said, 3, 4, 5 inches of snow out of this.
So, Joe, I'll get you out of here with this last thing. It sounds like it's going to come in waves. It sounds like the first part of this doesn't sound like it's going to be that bad. The second wave is the one that I think is really going to accumulate. You said that you think the kids are going to be out of school. So are we talking like, is this like snow day? You can go outside, go sledding, have a snowball fight, build an igloo kind of snow? Is that what we're talking about here?
No, it's not to build the igloo snow because it's just so dry and powdery. It's great for skiing. If this was mountain snow, this would be delightful for the skiers, but it's not the packable snow because the air is so darn cold that you won't be able to make any snowballs with it. But you'll be able to pull out the sled and have fun with that. Again, just, make sure the little ones really are bundled up with their hands and ears and stuff like that because, it's what's cold out there, and we don't want any frostbite or anything like that.
That's Joe Lauria of Fox 4 joining us on the show today. Joe, we appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, my friend.
Absolutely. That is Joe Lauria joining us on the show today, man. I mean, this show really goes to show you the versatility.
We're a chameleon, baby.
You know what I mean? We really go to show you the versatility. I know that you guys don't think that this show is serious, and you think it's all nonsense like talking about stories like this.
Southwest Airlines passengers were forced to attend an in-flight wedding, after which they filed a collective complaint against the airline. Last weekend, a couple decided to get married at 30,000 feet. They informed the flight attendants ahead of time, but no notice was given to the other passengers.
I want you guys to know that our show can do it all. We can talk about there just being a random wedding on a Southwest flight. We also can get you updated on the weather outside, and we can have the Jackson County Commissioner come in studio too and get to real hard-hitting news. That's what we do here. That's what we do. That's the versatility you only get on this show. Other guys ain't doing that. You think other guys are doing that? You think other guys are getting you weather reports, and we're talking about the man who is ready to leave his girlfriend for ChatGPT? No, only one show in the city is doing that. Let's get to the hits, Rob.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington Stars hits brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas, and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in the state. Baker University forever in our orange era.
Someone on the text line says, CDOT, I'm still waiting for you to talk about MTV shows. I forgot that we teased that we were going to talk about that, and then we got discussed. Sometimes there are moments of just incredible unity that we have on the text line, and we did have one of those moments earlier, and I apologize for not embracing it fully. The fact that you guys love the television show Next as much as I do is the best development so far in 2026. Next was an incredible show, a show that was really before its time. I love a 2000s dating show. I still watch them sometimes on YouTube. I watch this show, Eliminate, on YouTube to this day. They updated. It's in HD now. Incredible show. So the concept of the show is it's one person that they're all, vying for their attention. There's then 4 people that go on a date, and then every 5 minutes, they then eliminate one of the people until, the person at the end picks who they want to go on a date with. I love these shows. The Fifth Wheel, big fan. Next, big fan. Room Raiders. Who didn't want to go on Room Raiders back in the day? I watched Silent Library last week. So I'm always down to discuss a 2000s pop culture show. Big fan. Next was incredible. Did you watch Next, Rob?
I did watch Next. I'm trying to think. I liked Room Raiders. I thought Next was better than Room Raiders. I think Next was probably the best of those. There was when there's like Date My Mom or something like that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That one was weird to me.
I do remember that.
All those MTV spin-off
You
dating
really started
shows.
because you were talking about Two-A-Days.
Which was an incredible
and
show.
Two-A-Days was a good show.
Two-A-Days was Last Chance U in high school. That's what Two-A-Days was.
If there's one thing we love as society, it's a good high school football show. Oh, we will always rally around a good high school football show. I remember my freshman year of college, the running back from Two-A-Days he went to my school, and he was just like the most popular kid ever. Everybody loved him. Somebody said, what about True Life? True Life was a really good show. They had some wild True Lives. I used to like Diary, too, where they would follow a celebrity around for a day, and you would see what their life was like. That was good. Pimp My Ride was also a really good show. I was thinking this a couple of days ago because I was randomly watching Gridiron Gang. Rob hates that movie, but I actually really like Gridiron Gang.
Because not good. That's why I hate it.
I miss when we used to really experiment and try things in television shows and movies. Like at one point, somebody had the idea, hey, this guy that raps, what if we created a sitcom where he moves from Philadelphia to Bel Air? Like just a really stupid concept for a show. But the show really worked. They would never try a show like that today. We would never watch a show like this. There was a movie in the 2000s where the movie is The Rock is a high school football coach and his assistant is Exhibit. Incredible movie. You would never go see that movie today. There would be nothing that could get you to go to a movie theater to see that movie. We used to try things. We don't try things anymore.
I'm trying to think of other things that we used to like. Someone on the text line.
Back then, we would go to the movie theater for anything, especially kids. Like, if you were between 14 to 18, going to the movies like one of your favorite activities. Also, and I don't think that's the case for 16-year-olds now. It was cool to go to the mall and walk around and go see a movie, and I felt like they created movies specifically for that genre. Like, that's a movie for us. The movie with The Rock and Exhibit where they're coaching high school football is 100% for teenagers.
I also think network TV used to be better, too. Like, nowadays, it's like you were mentioning when we used to take chances on TV shows. I feel like I was watching the NFL last weekend. I forget which game was on NBC off the top of my head. And I remember thinking, like, we have a Chicago Med, we have a Chicago Fire, we have a Chicago PD. We're just having Chicago shows over and over and over again.
This is where I actually I think like CBS, I think once television started getting grittier and darker, there was no way for NBC and CBS to be able to compete. Like, some of the greatest, like, Breaking Bad could never be on regular television. Could never be on regular TV. So, like, once cable started picking up those shows and the shows on HBO got more popular and then Netflix got into it, now all these different streamers, whatever show you ended up watching wasn't going to work. I was listening to a podcast. This was like a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about The Pitt, for example. And they were talking about how The Pitt was like ER in the 2000s and how now, let's say The Pitt, the exact same show that people love now, if that show came on Fox, Rob, there's no chance you would watch it. But you would watch it on HBO. There is a certain brand attached to HBO. You go into it with the expectation of, oh, this is going to be great. But if that show was on CBS, you would not go into the same show with the expectation of, God, this show's going to be amazing.
I don't know, like, we're saying the same thing. I don't know if it's chicken or egg. Because CBS is not picking up that show, and I don't know if it's because of the dark and gritty other options, or if CBS just knows we have a tried and true formula. That's all we're going to do. We're going to keep pumping out the same stuff over and over and over again. Like,
what was the last network drama that was really good?
Ooh, that's a great
Not
question.
like a comedy, because they've had comedies that are really successful. Like Abbott Elementary is a really successful show. What's the last, is it Lost? Is Lost the last drama TV show?
And Lost fell off at the end.
That people loved. Textline probably knows the answer to it, 913-586-7965. But what's the last television drama that America loved? The way that they love Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad or one of those shows, The Pit right now. Or what's that show, The Bear? People love The Bear.
Does Law and Order count?
Yeah, I mean, if we're saying Law and Order started in 1999.
Well, I mean, it's still going was my point.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, that show could go on for forever. I love that show. Somebody said, This Is Us. That's a good one. This Is Us is a good one.
That's a good one.
This is a good one.
Although it was a good show. It wasn't like 10 seasons. It was relatively short-lived.
No, This Is Us is a really good one. A really, really good one.
I'm trying to think if there's even another one.
Because, like, a lot of people are naming, like, sitcoms. Like, Modern Family, to me, like...
That's different.
Yeah, that's different. I'm talking about, like, when was the last time that CBS had a Game of Thrones? Or one of those kind of shows?
Grey's Anatomy is a good answer.
A really good one. Grey's Anatomy, though, started 20-something years ago, though.
Yep, probably like, what, 06, 07?
Oh, yeah, for sure. When did Grey's Anatomy start? Hold on, let's look it up. 05 was the first episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Ooh.
March 27th of 2005. So I'm saying, if we think it's Grey's Anatomy 20 years, I'm saying is Netflix has a show like Grey's Anatomy that pops up every year. Netflix has a show. Ozark was that kind of show. Stranger Things was that kind of show. Right now, everybody's watching His or Hers. That show just doesn't exist anymore on regular TV. Like, there are no shows like that. That's not what people watch on regular TV anymore. I did like How to Get Away with Murder. I was a big fan of that show.
That would probably
Did you watch that show?
I did.
I did like that show.
I love the text.
Somebody said Empire. That was a good... Empire did have a good run for a season.
No, there's not a more To America show.
Well, of course. I mean,
I'm just...
No, you're right. I'm just saying is... You're right. For that show, whenever the lead character is Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson, I don't think you're watching that show, Rob. I don't think that's a show that you and your wife are going home to watch.
And that's not even an insult to the show. I'm sure it's great. But... That show was designed for your America, and when you're like, it's
and
the last.
I loved the first season. I did watch the first season of Empire every week. I was very much locked into it. The answer, honestly, probably Scandal. That's what someone said. The answer is probably Scandal. Scandal's probably the last big drama on TV. Is Scandal a To America show?
No, Scandal crossover.
Okay, I didn't know.
I don't think it crossed over at 100%. I don't.
Because I could definitely see Scandal being a To America show. Would make a lot of sense to me.
I also like how the text line is pointing out shows that are 1,000% not on network.
Yeah, not on network TV. Entourage. Okay, never mind. That's when we know it's time. It's like, all right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Have you guys mentioned these shows? Well, yeah, they're all they don't count. Where was the one down? There was one down here. Yellowstone. Yeah, that's a great drama. It's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, no, very different. Very, very different. We also don't get made for TV movies like we used to back in the day.
I actually disagree. We do. I call straight to streamers are made for TV movies.
Yeah, but they're so much more bigger budget than they used to have. Like they used to have like kind of like I feel like made-for-TV movies used to be like how Lifetime movies are. Now made-for-TV movies star Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. That's like $100 million movie just on Netflix. Those are a little different to me than a regular made-for-TV film.
That's fair. But, like, that concept is just the streamer. Because, let's be honest, Netflix pumps out a lot of high-budget slop that's made for TV movie that you would never see in a theater.
Do you remember when ESPN was trying to make movies for a little bit?
Remember when they made TV shows?
Yeah. I remember they had Season on the Brink.
Yeah.
That was a show about yeah, man.
They had I don't remember the name of the show. It was like the summer, it was about the Yankees, like Billy Martin. Like, they had, like, actual TV shows. They had Playmakers, like, and now ESPN just, I don't know. They just do the same thing they've always done.
Someone on the text line says, "Seat one of my neighbors is moving right now. If you had a friend, would you help?" Yeah. I mean, how close is this friend? I mean, we all have a group of friends that we are willing to help regardless of the situation. But if you know we're not at that level, please do not ask me to help you move and it's -1 degrees outside.
What's the level of move? If it's apartment to apartment, I
don't care who it is. But, like, Rob, if you were like, "Hey, I need your help," I would help you.
Even tomorrow, I need you to, truck.
I mean, I don't know why you would. I mean,
I wouldn't ask you. That's
you want to die? I gotta die over this? I don't want to die. But yeah, if you say to Carrington, "I need you," I would help you. Yeah, 100%. Mac, I like Mac. I don't know Mac well enough. I'm not helping Mac move this weekend. We cool. He ain't my boy like that though. Yeah, it's a degree of friendship is what factors in. There's some people, yeah, regardless of what you need, I'm here to help you. But yeah, if we just cool, yeah, I've never talked to Mac on the phone, never hung out with Mac. No, I'm not helping you move. It's not my problem to figure out. That's your problem. Mac is a coworker. We ain't boys. That's a little different to me. All right, coming up on the other side, we'll get to the AFC and NFC championship game. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack with every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll get a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts mean more ways to level up your playoff bets. We are just a couple of weeks away from the NFL season completely winding down, and we're going to find out who plays in the big game. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, and build a parlay that fits this championship moment. Then apply those profit boosts and go for an even bigger payout to keep the playoffs fun rolling along. Visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack for every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug.
Oh, what a horrible call. Hey, ref, open your eyes. Ref, you're really not going to call that? Come on.
Hey, ref, why don't you customize your car insurance with Liberty Mutual and save money?
I don't think you get what we're doing.
Sure I do. We're all just giving him advice. You guys on sports, me on saving money.
Nope, that's not it.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, it's Gold, and just because the calendar turned over to 2026 doesn't mean Shawnee Mission Ford still isn't on a mission to do more. In fact, they're still offering the largest discounts, giving top trade allowances in Kansas City. I'm still enjoying driving the great Ford F-150. That 360 camera makes the parking so easy for me now. Also, the heated seats for most start. It is a must in the wintertime. So if you're looking for a place to buy a vehicle, it is Shawnee Mission Ford. They're also going to be with you whenever you need the service done. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
What would you say was the biggest factor in getting that win tonight?
I mean, you said it. I think that was it for me. Factor. I was feeling strong. Had plenty in the tank for overtime.
Wait, Factor, like the meals?
Yeah, Factor meals. I've been getting Factor high-protein meals delivered all month. I get all the power I need. They taste great, and they're ready to eat in 2 minutes.
Okay, I need to get on that.
For real. Go to factormeals.com. It's the easiest way to eat like a pro.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
What would you say was the biggest factor in getting that win tonight?
I mean, you said it. I think that was it for me. Factor. I was feeling strong. Had plenty in the tank for overtime.
Wait, Factor, like the meals?
Yeah, Factor meals. I've been getting Factor high protein meals delivered all month. I get all the power I need. They taste great, and they're ready to eat in 2 minutes.
Okay, I need to get on that.
For real. Go to factormeals.com. It's the easiest way to eat like a pro.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
This one brought to you by DM Injury Law. We've got a crash 70 eastbound past College Parkway. Left lane is blocked. We've also got at least Summit 470 eastbound as you approach 50. Right lane is blocked. Raytown 435 northbound before Stadium. Right lane blocked there. I'm down with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
I'm not asking this question. I promise you I'm not. Do we know if Darren Peterson's playing this weekend? Have we got an answer yet? Because Bill a couple of days ago said he was hurt and he wasn't sure. And now we're heading into another KU game and we're not sure if their best player is going to be there. Have we gotten an answer yet on Darren Peterson? Is he going to work on Saturday or he calling off?
I don't know. I'm trying to find the Big 12.
Why you say it like that?
Well, the Big 12 requires injury reports now, so that's a step in the right direction. So I'm trying to find the latest injury report. I'm sure he's questionable, which is just par for the course. I will say I will continue to maintain win, lose, or draw on Saturday. I'd much rather him not play that one and play against BYU. Just 100,000%.
Are you actually going to go to that game? It's the first game you've been to in a while.
100%.
You don't really go to KU games anymore.
Saturday, Devansta and Darren, y'all be there.
Well, of course. Shocked you haven't sold those tickets either. See how much money they're going for? I had to.
They're going for a lot. I'm not going to lie to you.
Let's play. This is the latest from Bill Self. This is what he said about Darren. This was yesterday.
I don't know yet. He's getting treatment, and he's got a pretty severe ankle sprain. But fortunately, that's all it is a sprain. So hopefully he'll be able to go and play. But we're not at a point where we can make a decision on that yet.
Well, Bill, you let us know when Darren decides if he can play tomorrow. We all would like to know. Tomorrow, if you would like, you can watch the KU K-State game. They're playing Saturday night on Big Fox at 7 o'clock.
Does that mean Gus? We get Gus?
Or you can hear it right here on 96.5 The Fan. You can hear it. The K-State broadcast. Shout out to the Wildcats.
I do think Wyatt will do a better job than Gus. You'll hear less screaming.
Is this something that you still get excited about? Because I'm just going off our conversation. That's all I can go off of. You were excited about the MUKU football game. You drove to Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
I got plans to drive to Lawrence. I got to watch the game with you next year.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the basketball game. Are you excited about this one? Is this one that you got circled? It's a rivalry game, but K-State's terrible this year. We're not sure if Darren Peterson's going to play. Is there a buzz in Jayhawk land for the latest edition of the Sunflower Showdown?
I don't want to speak for the entirety of Jayhawk land, but based on what I've seen on social media, there's a little bit of like, oh, it's a rivalry game buzz, but everyone kind of has an eye toward BYU. KU fans have already kind of circled BYU as a wow kind of game. You know how every year in Allen, there's always like a team, like usually it's Houston or sometimes been Baylor. One of those kind of teams comes in town. You're like, oh, this is going to be a great game, a Saturday afternoon. That's what we want. I think Kansas fans have their eye toward BYU. So like, you know, it's a rivalry game, and they've lost the last 3 in Manhattan, so not overlooking K-State, but it's K-State's worried about firing their coach. Like, why am I worried about playing that team?
Let's talk a little bit of football here for the 2 games that we have coming up. I think only one of these teams has pressure this weekend. If the Rams lose a game on the road, and this is their 3rd road game in 3 straight weeks and they lose, like, we're not going to come out here and say, oh, the Rams failed. If the Seahawks lose a 27-23 great, highly contested game, I don't think the sentiment is going to be Seattle's season was all for nothing. The Broncos get a major pass. They really do. They get a major pass now. I think the Broncos can still win this game. I mean, I'm not predicting them to win this game, but if this was a Week 9 football game, and even though Bo Nix was hurt, none of us would be stunned if Jared Stidham and Sean Payton for 1 week came out and played well and beat the New England Patriots, and they won this game 21-17. Like, I don't think anybody would be stunned if that happened. This is a 1-game scenario at home. I do think that Stidham is a capable backup. I don't think he's one of the high-end backups, but I think he can. If you're telling me, can Jared Stidham throw for 185 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and just move out of the way, I think that's capable for a Broncos team in this game. I think that's capable for them. I think they got a shot to win this game. All of the pressure is on New England. I mean, the heavens have opened up for you. They've opened up. You played a Chargers team. Their quarterback was hurt. Their offensive line is beat up. They were the 7th seed. The Chargers were not a good football team. In the second game, I mean, C.J. Stroud threw 4 interceptions in the game. He played poorly all postseason. So you got the worst quarterback in the postseason in the second round. Now, you did what you were supposed to do. You won. But we're not talking about how great New England played in the second round. It's about how poorly C.J. Stroud played. Now, fast forward, you get another gift. You get Jared Stidham in this one individual game. Yeah, all of the pressure is on New England in this game. You gotta win. And I know the expectation is that Drake May, he's next, and he's going to go to 4 of these things, and he's aligned to take the throne. Man, there's no guarantee in that. You got a chance right now as a 4.5 point, 5.5 point favorite to go to the Super Bowl, and you just got to outplay Jared Stidham for 60 minutes. You got to cash this ticket in. You have been one of the 5 best teams in the NFL all season if you were New England. You got to figure out a way to cash this in. You got to go to the Super Bowl. And on the other side, on the NFC side, I think these are 2 incredibly even. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. I think the game really comes down to if you believe in Sam Darnold or not. Like, I'm picking the Rams. I believe in their quarterback more than I believe in Seattle's quarterback. I think that they outplayed the Seahawks the last time these 2 teams played each other. And a weird 2-point conversion call that went against the Rams was a major contributing factor in why Seattle got the 1 seed, how they won their division, and how they won that game. I think the Rams close in this game better than they did the last time. So I think the Super Bowl is going to be Rams and Patriots. I think it's going to be a remix back to 2000. I think it's going to be Rams and Patriots for the Super Bowl.
I agree with you on the Patriots. I can't get a read on that NFC game at all. I really can't, because I think Seattle is the better team. I think you could make the argument that, you know, hey, the Rams should have won the second one too. I could easily make the argument if Sam Darnold doesn't have a turnover nightmare in LA, that the Seahawks were the better team. Like, he turned the ball over, 4 times? Like, I don't know what to expect from the NFC, but I agree with you. I think the NFC winner is the Super Bowl champion. Whether it be against Jared Stidham, and you know how much I love Drake May. I just don't think that Patriot team or that Jared Stidham team with the Broncos.
I don't think there's any chance of the Broncos winning 2 straight games. I think they can win 1 game at home. If you're telling me that you give that defense 2 weeks to work on Jared Stidham, the Broncos might not score in the Super Bowl if that ends up being the case. That's the #1 scoring defense. And you and I were talking about Sam Darnold earlier, and I want to be clear on my feelings about Darnold. I think Darnold's fine. I think Darnold's fine. But I guess when it comes to Sam Darnold, I won't pretend like he is not in a great situation. He has a 1,000-yard rusher. He has a very good offensive line. He has a top 3 receiver in the National Football League. He has the #1 scoring defense this year in Seattle. I think he's Alex Smith. And there's nothing wrong with being Alex Smith. But I don't think you ever gave Alex Smith all of those things all at the same time, the way that he has, and also the home field advantage. All you need Sam Darnold not to do is don't mess this up. That's it. Don't mess up. Don't throw 3 interceptions this week. If Sam Darnold goes out there and throws for 220 yards and 1 touchdown and no interceptions, Seattle can go to and be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Just don't mess up. That's it. It's all you're asking him to do. Can he do that? And we'll see if he can do it or not. But I'm picking the Rams to win. I think the Rams, I trust their quarterback more. I trust their weapons more. I think they can force Darnold into 1 or 2 mistakes and take advantage of him. And I think the Rams win a tightly contested game. I also do think the Broncos-Patriots game is going to be a lot closer than we think it's going to be. Like, I'd be a little bit stunned if the Patriots went in there and just put BTA. I'd be a little bit surprised. I think that game is going to be like weirdly close in the 4th quarter. And that's where I'm with you. Drake May makes 1 play, and it's kind of, all right, Drake May's here. And then I think the Patriots win the game. I certainly hope that they win the game. I got them to win the Super Bowl. I got a ticket for them to win the Super Bowl.
You're looking for the hedge.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm actually right now on the fence of should I roll the dice one more time that they'll beat the Broncos or take a little bit of money on the Broncos. Like, I'm still kind of on the fence about what I want to do. But, yeah, having the Patriots at 13-1 to win the Super Bowl, if they can just win 1 more game, I'm good. I don't care if they win anymore. Just get me to the Super Bowl, and then I'm guaranteed to leave with a little bit of something, a little bit of profit. All right, we'll put a bow on this thing. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
What would you say was the biggest factor in getting that win tonight?
I mean, you said it. I think that was it for me. Factor. I was feeling strong. Had plenty in the tank for overtime.
Wait, Factor, like the meals?
Yeah, Factor meals. I've been getting Factor high-protein meals delivered all month. I get all the power I need. They taste great, and they're ready to eat in 2 minutes.
Okay, I need to get on that.
For real. Go to factormeals.com. It's the easiest way to eat like a pro.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
And
Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, it's Gold, and just because the calendar turned over to 2026 doesn't mean Shawnee Mission Ford still isn't on a mission to do more. In fact, they're still offering the largest discounts, giving top trade allowances in Kansas City. I'm still enjoying driving the great Ford F-150. That 360 camera makes the parking so easy for me now. Also, the heated seats for most start. It is a must in the wintertime. So if you're looking for a place to buy a vehicle, it is Shawnee Mission Ford. They're also going to be with you whenever you need the service done. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Hey, it's Josh Vern. You're in before I head out to Arizona to see the boys in blue in spring training. I'll be hosting the Royals Rally Show live from Kauffman Stadium on Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9 a.m. The biggest names in the organization will join me for exclusive one-on-one interviews as they get ready for the 2026 season. If you miss any of the show, it'll all be available afterwards on the All Things Vern podcast channel. The Royals Rally Show, Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9, right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've got a crash now past Blue Springs, 70 westbound, just past BB Grain Valley, Buckner. The right lane is blocked. You'll experience backups there. Lee Summit, that crash is working 470 eastbound as you approach 50 in the right lane, and a stall 9 highway southbound at Briar Cliff Parkway. Big backups. 9 Val. Traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
All right, I want to get you guys out of here with a couple of things. Just sometimes I wish we could talk about the NBA. And I mean, I guess we could. Like, I am the host of the show. I could just decide I want to talk about the NBA. But usually you guys aren't into it. And I try to talk about things that you guys are into. But, you know, it's 5:45. It's a Friday. It's about to snow. I kind of feel like I can do whatever I want to do. So I want to play this for you. This is from Shams Charania. Did I tell you one time, Rob, I met Shams Charania? I met him inside the Bellagio. I did meet him one time. I can't call him friend of the show, but I did meet him one time. I want to play this for you. This is his latest on Giannis. Is Giannis getting traded?
Late July, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks general manager John Horst are meeting face to face, and John Horst is in the Bucks and Doc Rivers and ownership. They're selling Giannis Antetokounmpo and competing for a championship. Like, we have a title contending roster, and Giannis makes it very clear that he has concerns. He has issues with the roster, that he maybe doesn't believe that this is a truly contending team, and that leads to conversations with the Knicks. That's a preferred destination that he had in the offseason. Those two teams spoke. There were offers made. Obviously, there was no deal that happened. The Bucks end up signing his brother Thanasis. He ends up committing to the season, and he ends up starting the year there. And so everything about Giannis's brand has been loyalty. He spent 13 years in Milwaukee. It's clear he loves the city, he loves the organization, but what I've been hearing over and over for months now is that the writing is on the wall for Giannis and the Bucks. It's just how do they get there? When do they get there? And really, when is either side ready to step up to the plate and have that level of understanding, or will it continue to live in this nebulous state?
I kind of feel like Giannis can do what he wants. He's already won a championship there. He's in his 30s. I think if Giannis communicated, I feel like I've done everything in Milwaukee that I can. I still feel like I have a couple of great years left to try to go win a championship. I want the opportunity to go win a championship. He'll be allowed to go back to Milwaukee again. Like, I understand if he doesn't want to come off as being the bad guy, but this feels a little bit like the Kevin Garnett situation, but you're leaving when you've already given them a championship. Now, I heard this trade scenario thrown out there, Rob. I'm curious what you think. Would you trade Dylan Harper straight up for Giannis? Like, if you're Milwaukee, do you think you could get better than Dylan Harper? I think Harper's a baller. I think Harper has a chance to be a very good player in the NBA. I don't think he is there yet, but if you were telling me in 2 years Dylan Harper ended up being a top 15, top 20 player in the league, I would not be surprised at all. I think you need a little bit more than that, but building a package around Dylan Harper is, I think, about as good as you're going to get if you're Milwaukee.
That's a good question about Dylan Harper.
He can play.
He can absolutely play. The answer is probably yes, I would take that if I'm Milwaukee, because without knowing how upset Giannis is behind the scenes, I would probably take that. I also think, I know people don't care about NBA coaching. They don't care about the NBA. They really don't care about coaching. I never understood the Doc Rivers-Giannis marriage, and it seems like it has not worked out at any point. I'm not saying a new coach just makes Giannis happy and everyone goes about their business. But it just feels like Doc Rivers may have anchored his career as much as anything.
I'll be really interested to see where he lands. I do think San Antonio's near the top of the list. I just think there's not a lot of teams that have anything you would want back in exchange, or where you could trade a really good piece and still feel like if you're a championship contending team. I would say it's either San Antonio or the Knicks, where the Knicks are going to build around a package where they trade.
And he wants to be a Knick.
Towns.
Like that. That's part of what Sham said there. He would like to, his preference is to be a Knick.
They got enough?
I don't know how they get that done.
Karl-Anthony Towns would have to be it. Karl-Anthony Towns.
Are you saying Karl-Anthony Towns? If you're the Brewers, if you're the Bucks, that's not nearly enough.
Yeah, I'm just, again, but you got to tell me that. I'm not saying you're like wrong here. I'm just saying if you are Milwaukee, who do you realistically think that you can get back for him? Because you aren't getting like Anthony Edwards. You're not getting Luke. You're not getting a star player in the league. I would also say you're probably not getting a team's number 2, maybe other than the Knicks' number 2.
Mm-hmm. And in a perfect world, this is pie in the sky, you'd want a number 2 who's like the up-and-comer. You'd want 6-man Oklahoma City James Harden back. That's what.
And I would say that guy just doesn't really exist in the league right now.
Or if he does, he's on a team that's not trading for that guy for 100%. Giannis.
That's what I'm saying. Karl-Anthony Towns makes the most sense. Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, a couple of picks, and that's probably the trade. But you gave up a lot of those picks to go get Mikal Bridges. That's also the thing, too, here to get really into the weeds in the NBA. A lot of the teams that would maybe do it, they've just used all of those assets to go get somebody they already have on the team.
Like the Rockets would have made sense about 9 months ago.
They don't have them anymore.
They use all those assets to go get KD. Yeah. Like the Suns don't have any assets. Like that, the teams you start naming just are low on things.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly.
Or it's something you wouldn't trade.
Yeah, if I'm the Magic, would you trade Paulo Banchero for him?
No.
No?
Yeah, I wouldn't trade him.
That's my point about you're not giving up that player. Are you giving up Cade Cunningham if you're the Pistons?
No.
I wouldn't either. And by the way, the Pistons are now the 1 seed in the East for people not following the league.
And I would say the Pistons don't have a number 2 guy that you would probably take.
Yeah, because you're not taking Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, not as a centerpiece.
Not a centerpiece, no.
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. The NBA is actually a lot of fun this year. I know it's early on in the season and it's a long way to go, but the Eastern Conference is very, very compelling this year. And as good as Oklahoma City is, they don't match up well against San Antonio. So that makes it super interesting about who's going to go. The NBA is really fun this year. I feel kind of bad for Steph. Steph's got another playing game. They're the 8th seed right now.
He going to make that? No Jimmy Butler anymore.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they'll end up being at least a 10 seed.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're being in the playing game at home versus in the first playing game is different.
The Pelicans are sorry. They're sorry. I'm sitting here looking at the NBA standings. They're terrible. They're a waste of everybody's time. All right, we had a lot of fun. Take care of yourself this weekend. Don't be out and about, especially if you got a truck. Those of you that got a truck, y'all be driving crazy during this period. Arrive alive is going to be the message of the drive. We'll catch you guys on Monday. I'm going to be here. Hopefully you're here too. Take care of yourself, and I'll let Daniel Craig take you home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
You're listening to The Drive